Oh, here we go. What's up? One sec.
What's up?
Hey.
What's up? What's up, everyone? This is the Chiodo Bros Craigcast, the only Chiodo's podcast on the internet. Just kidding. This is the Demo Team podcast, the only podcast supporting your addiction to Dance Gavin Dance. So what's up, Moses?
Dude, what's up? Not much over here, man. Just enjoying another day in sunny California.
Anything good lately?
Did I eat anything good lately?
Yeah.
No, I had A&W for lunch. I don't know if
I don't think I ever had that before, but interesting. I've seen them around, but what about you, Ryan?
I'm all right. I've been eating good in the neighborhood.
Good? That's cool. David?
Doing well. Working hard, doing stuff, cleaning, just doing me, man. How y'all doing?
All right.
Sweet.
So I guess we're gonna come back to Afterburner today. You all ready for that?
Heck yeah. I'm excited. Let's go.
Yo, you said Afterburner.
Oh wait, yeah, it's
Wait,
not Afterburner. We're gonna do
we're not
Artificial
talking about
Selection. My bad.
Let's
do Afterburner all over again.
Yeah.
You don't want to start all
We're
over?
gonna do Afterburner by ZZ Top today. Whole thing. Starting with Sleeping Bag to what was the last song? It's like Playing a Woman or something is the last song. So did y'all listen to Afterburner by ZZ Top yet? Because
I feel bad. I know y'all mentioned it, and I put them on the list, but I haven't gotten to them just yet.
well, David, you have to listen to it because we're talking about it right now.
Shit, I came unprepared.
Yeah. All right, so Artificial Selection. Let's see, how are we going to get into this one? What do we need to talk about to grease up the audience?
I mean, if fans of the show have been watching, you may remember before we delved off the deep end into Anna Moria and Marinette interviews, we were talking about Artificial Selection. We managed to get up to Count Basie, and I believe we ended on Count Basie. Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, Count Basie was the last one.
We're gonna get to the second half of the album, starting with Flash, I believe. Correct?
Yep.
Yeah, right. That sounds about right.
Sure, this 2-week break will make for a very cohesive synopsis, but
yeah, we had a little filler arc there.
All right,
back to plot.
Shall we just hop in?
Let's do it.
All right, Flash. I think Moses said this was his favorite song on the album, or was it?
You are correct.
I don't know. It is okay. I got good memory,
my
right?
Number one favorite song on the album. I think to me, it's top tier Dance Gavin Dance. Like, this is their attempt at writing just a great track, something that's catchy that will translate well in a live setting. Especially like this album, it doesn't have a Strawberry Swisher song per se, and I feel like this one kind of fills the void of just something kind of poppy, kind of about relationships, a very catchy chorus. So for the
lost Strawberry song.
Really? I've never heard that.
No, I'm just saying it kind of fills that void. Like, especially the chorus has like a super poppy chorus. I know, I feel like maybe David last episode was saying that a lot of the songs kind of have a pop punk vibe to them, and maybe like it was kind of their attempt at pop punk. But if you listen to the chorus at Flash, they kind of play like a breakdown, like it's kind of like a little poppy breakdown, which many easycore bands do to kind of create a big chorus. Like bands like, I don't know, 4 Year Strong, Newfound Glory, Chunk, Captain No Chunk come to mind. They just kind of do that like breakdown with either crew vocals or just something like really catchy. And like, to me, I don't know, that's one of the reasons this song's like great. David, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd kind of say that this song is like the epitome of that pop punk sound. Or I mean, more so sorry my blowers, but like bros. But you definitely it definitely comes back in pretty much full force here. And actually, yeah, this is whenever I come back to this album, this is a nice little single that I feel like is underappreciated. Shoot, you got just those chords in the beginning. Just it gives off a summer vibe, and it's more upbeat and just you got John Mass going off in the verses, and then Tillian hitting you in that chorus. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of fun stuff. It's very kinetic. Shoot, it's a good track, I'd say. But a lot of people are like, oh no, this one's more poppy. A lot of people kind of despise that chorus. I hear, for
Hey, David.
what's
So
up?
one thing you did is you kind of called it a single, which it wasn't like a single, that they
Yeah,
pushed like promotion wise, but to me,
yeah.
I really think they missed a mark there. I think this could have been a
Oh,
huge single.
it should
Like
have been. Yeah.
I wish they would have pushed this one, made a music video for it. I think it would have really caught the ear of like the Warped Tour alternative press crowd, which I mean like a lot of their crowds come from that area, but like maybe the ones that aren't into like heavier bands or like aren't into Dance Gavin Dance, I feel like this song could have brought in like more people for sure.
Yo, yeah, I never thought of it like that, but no, yeah, thinking about it, all the parts.
Yeah, they should have pandered more.
Oh, okay. Shoot,
I'm just
what do you
playing.
mean by
I'm
that,
just
Cash?
playing. Well, if you know what pandering means,
I sure do.
I guess that's what I meant.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, it is more of like a more refined, like, they're going for a certain direction on this track, and like, like I said, I've heard a lot of critiques for that direction, and I don't know, like I said, I mean, it's kind of just playing off of more mothership vibes and just playing with that sound, like that, you'd hear on instant gratification. So I mean, like I said, all these tracks are supposed to be like kind of just singles, like, oh yeah, instead of like a cohesive album, it's, oh yeah, here's another single based on whatever we wanted to write. And I believe this is one of the tracks that they were like demoing for like the Summertime Gladness, like or that could have been in place of Summertime Gladness, if you know what I mean.
Um, did you talk about that in the last or artificial selection episode?
I think we made mention that some of these songs were made during a period like as B-sides when they were writing the EP, like the Summertime single.
Yeah, I think it was Story of My Bros and Flash. Like those are two, like they were kind of demoing that could have taken that spot, but Summertime Gladness went out. Or I think I heard an interview that implied at least one of those tracks, or at least
I
demo.
don't know that.
What? If that's the truth, that's a smart choice. Summertime Gladness, comparison to those three songs, I would say Summertime is definitely the strongest of those.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. I'd have to think about it, but I don't think Summertime Gladness would have fit on the album though. So I think it kind of all works out.
I think Summertime's strong enough to stand on its own.
Yeah,
That's fact right there.
It's a good season.
It's the summerest of all.
Yeah, those three songs.
It's
I'd say.
them and the Afterburner singles, right? So Summary.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Blood Wolf too.
Shoot, yeah.
Blood Wolf.
Yo, Ryan.
What's up, bro?
Differing thoughts on, or interesting thoughts on this song.
Well, I'm gonna be as sincere and polite as possible. While not my favorite song on this album, Flash it's all right. It's okay. It's definitely not my go-to. I wouldn't brush my teeth to it. I wouldn't run to my nearest Bluetooth speaker and hook it up just to hear Flash.
You're literally it right now.
I'm adding it to every playlist right now. But I think it's a decent song. I think it kind of starts like a downturn for the album for me. I feel like there's a collection of songs on this album that kind of just do a little bit of meandering, and yeah, I mean that's as nice as I can put it. Like I don't want to like sit here and like clown on it or dissect it and try to like just find reasons why I'm not like it's not my favorite song. But
how dare
kind
you?
of
They specifically wrote the song for you to brush your teeth to.
damn.
I
I'm
kind
sorry.
of agree with you, Ryan. Though, like, I mean, I do like the album way more than you do, but I kind of feel like the middle kind of drags a little bit too. But I kind of do think that sometimes I do just kind of like zone out though when I listen to like whole albums. So I don't know, that might be it, but I don't necessarily find this song that compelling.
The middle of this album isn't helping that cause though.
Yeah.
I think Flash is actually a fan favorite.
Really?
When it comes to the album, yeah.
I guess I'm a hipster, bro. I'm a
No,
mad
honestly, I
hipster
hear a
right
lot
now.
of people hating it.
That's kind of what I wanted to get.
You don't even like Dance
a-
Gavin
a
Dance,
hipster
Ryan.
and contrarian.
I'm very arrogant. I'm the worst dance Gavin. I make Dance Gavin Dance
Dude,
fan
you're
memes.
basically Anthony Fantano.
Yeah, basically a strong 4 for this song. You know what I mean? A strong 4.
Strong 4. Oh, that's pretty high for a
4 out
Dance
of
Gavin
20.
Dance song.
4 out of 20? No.
Yeah, 4 out of 20.
I wouldn't
Basically
say
2 out of 10.
I
1
wouldn't
out of
be
5.
I wouldn't be that cruel. If I had to give it like an actual number, I'd give it like a 6.
I guess you don't have the
7.
Wheelie jeans.
It is track number 6.
Yeah, there you go.
It's 11 out of 10 for me.
It's interesting that you say it kind of meanders around the middle.
I believe it's 6 out of 14 or 13 for me.
13. I like 8 out of the 13 tracks on this album. Yeah. 5 of them I'm not like, I'm not trying to hop on the front and try to say like, oh, like they're the worst songs. I'm just saying like they're not like the songs I search for the most in the discography. Because I love all Dance Gavin Dance, but if I'm gonna pick favorites, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I get that, man.
Yeah, like I said, and it's interesting because like Flash is number 6, but right after Flash, Shoot the Rattler. Like
Whoa.
Did everybody talk about Flash yet?
No.
Wait,
David.
I thought, huh?
Cash has to talk about Flash.
Oh, I thought he
or
did.
not.
I'm sorry.
He gave
Just
like
skip me.
opinions.
It's all right, guys.
He gave
No,
opinions.
we already had one negative opinion about it. We can skip the other one, right?
It's not a negative
That's what
opinion. I pointed out the things I liked about the song.
I want to hear Cash's thoughts because I didn't have a completely negative opinion. I was just unbiased towards it.
Dude, it was so negative.
I mean, I thought the guitars on the song were really cool and nice. I do kind of think the drums and bass kind of got swept aside a little bit, and they probably should have turned them up. I like the chorus, and it's kind of different than other choruses on the album, but yeah, I don't really have much to say about it.
Yeah,
shoot.
Drums for sure. Like, I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I would say it's more guitar and vocal driven. They have a bunch of verses where, what is it? That there's that verse for Tillian's like I'm at the top of my little world. Where the guitar is just kind of moving along. It's it's setting a nice little.
The guitar part is dope in that.
I know, it's really nice.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of more of that like more like standard swan chord sound. Not that there's like a standard, but
yeah, a little bit. But also
that the badass word.
Yeah.
See, no, I like that part because it's like, it does have like that swan chord sound to it, but it's also the way it's used during the verse. It's like, it's like, oh, we have this catchy sound and we're going to use it throughout this whole little section before they switch it up, Like it kind of brings it back to the more standard poppy kind of structures, you know what I mean? I think it's just a good match,
Like,
and
I love John's part.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And the lyrics are like pretty goofy.
Oh yeah.
It just makes for like a really feel good song, and then Tillian adds like a vocal track for like backing vocals in the last chorus that kind of I don't know. It really fills the song and brings it.
Wait, is that Tillian on the backing vocals, or is that someone else?
No, that's Tillian.
That's Tillian.
Okay.
Tillian.
Yeah, it was pretty low, but
See, yeah, I like that, that last the backing vocals, but like I kind of feel like, okay, we're repeating this a third time. We kind of have to add something to it, or it's gonna sound kind of bland or stale.
Yeah.
So it's
I feel like I feel like it's a lot of stop and go. Like I really like Tillian's interlude, like the soft little like they don't know you very well part. Like that stuff is really cool. I really love John Mess on the song, but I just feel like it's kind of just circles. It just circles around, you know?
It's more of a traditional like song format, I guess, where you go, like verse, chorus, and on a chorus again. But I think that's more of a compliment to the chorus. It's a good one.
I get you.
Yeah, and I feel like Dance Gavin Dance, like some fans might not like that, based on their roots and the sound they're going with. But like Dance, they're kind of relying on some structure here and there to make new music, and I think that's fine, especially when you're coming on 10 albums. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. I can give the devil their due.
Yeah,
I think at this point the band's allowed to do whatever they want.
Fuck yes. Hell yeah.
I mean, any band.
Their next album better be industrial.
Yeah, 100%. If they feel like doing
Witch House.
It better be just a trap house album. That's all I'm saying, man.
Oh, dude.
Featuring Daft Punk. Just that's it.
When I was in high school, I was in this band. And like we were just kind of like a pretty basic indie band for most of the time. And then 1 month, the singer who like wrote all the songs decided we're just going to be industrial. And like for a whole month, we're trying to do industrial music, and then we just gave up.
Industrial music, but like I'm guessing this wasn't in like the 90s, so that's pretty.
No, it wasn't the 90s. This was like in 2012.
That's so pretty. Yeah.
That was it was pretty out there.
Now, when you say industrial, are you talking about like Prodigy?
No, it was not like Prodigy. It's more like I don't know.
What was that band that covered Blue Monday?
Orgy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it'd be like that. But it was more like it was kind of goofy though. It was almost like it kind of almost reminded me of like clown music because it was like kind of stuff. Yeah.
Are we ready to move on to the Rattler?
Is that an industrial song?
Yeah.
Actually, kind of. If there ever was an industrial song on a Dance Gavin Dance album, I think the Rattler might be it. But not really.
I'm not familiar with industrial, to be honest. What?
Industrial. Think 9 Inch Nails. Just that's like the most popular version of it I can think of.
People who wear
hair with a labrae piercing,
Ministry.
Like piercing.
Yeah, lots of leather and latex.
There's a really good.
The Matrix.
Yeah, that's cybergoth. But I feel like if you want like a really good modern band that's doing industrial right now, go with Teeth. They got like it's spelt with 2 3s instead of E's. They're really good. I saw them play with him and CKY. They were like really cool. Like I don't usually like vibe with like modern industrial, more of like that old school flavor. But
Angel Teeth, is it?
Teeth with 2 3s instead of E's.
Yeah, that's what came up for me. Angel Teeth with the 3s, but
yeah,
I guess it's not Angel. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, looking at them. But yeah, like
so
you said,
Rattler?
Yeah, I feel like the Rattler definitely picks up the pace. If you'd say the last one meandered. What y'all think?
That's true. Well, the Rattler, it's my second favorite, or I think it's my third favorite song off the album, and it features our boy Martin B from Secret Band.
Of course.
Go figure, another heavy Dance Gavin Dance song with the Martin feature on it. I think we get a great performance from John and Matt as well. I think like the heavier songs bring out a better performance from Matt, or maybe like I don't know, maybe just for like me, like I seem to pick up more on his drumming, the heavier that the song is.
Oh, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Moses.
And I think the Rattler has like the best chorus out of like all their like heavier secret band like songs.
Oh, you mean the Tillian feature?
Yeah, the Tillian part. Like instrumentally, it actually reminds me of the song "Get Well Soon" by Reggie and the Full Effect. It kind of has like a wobbly synth.
Yes.
I like that a little effect to have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I would agree. It's definitely the catchier Tillian part where it just comes in out of nowhere.
You know what's cool about this song? It has two features. Not only Martin, but it actually features backing vocals from Andrew at the bridge. Like he's the one
Sure does.
worth fighting for at the end.
Oh, I thought that was Tillian, but okay. Yeah, I can see it.
It's Andrew Wells.
Whoa,
I don't know.
that's cool.
Got.
Does anybody want to go?
I know Cash was trying to say something.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
go.
don't have any idea what the fuck to make of this song, but I do like it. I guess.
It's pretty chaotic.
Yeah, it is very chaotic. Based off the whole thing we were talking about, the middle meandering, I think while this song might have been placed here to keep that from happening, I don't think it quite accomplishes like it doesn't quite pull you back in the way it probably should. It just I just like it's I think it's too abstract to really grasp, and then like in a way that like allows you to get back into the album. Like if you get bored of it in the middle, not necessarily bored, but like you zone out. But it's a pretty wild song.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's its own thing. It's like it's another track that's doing its own thing, you know, and it doesn't. Like I said, that's kind of the theme. It's an album of singles, so it's not going to be very cohesive and be really related to different songs. I'd say.
I'm not saying it's for the cohesiveness. It's like you would have Flash, and then you can put right when the album starts to like maybe turn like you zone out. Like you could put Flash here, and it could like wake you up, or not, or the Rattler here, and it could like pull you back in, get your attention again. But I don't necessarily think it does that because it's just kind of like very abstract. So, but I mean, it's a cool song for sure. It's not necessarily something I listen to regularly, but it's like I appreciate like the artistry behind it because it's very, very weird. Like it's like I don't even think there's a key to it. It might just be chromatic stuff, but yeah, I like it.
Oh, you think so, dude?
Tillian chorus is cool too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I said, this is, out of the songs he features, this is definitely one of the higher ranked. Like, if he had to rank it, like, I like him more on this versus like the other, secret band-esque songs.
Definitely.
Hey Ryan, what you got?
All I know is I'm not a fan of the beginning of the song at like all. When I hear it, all I'm like is like, wow, I wish I was listening to a secret band song that was like a lot better than this. But apart from like the introduction, which I'm not like huge on because it just, I don't know, it feels like John Mess trying to be John Mess for the sake of being John Mess. But other than that, I feel like Tillian's parts are pretty strong. I feel like the middle of the song has got like some strength to it. But for me, like I don't like knowing that it's got like Andrew and like Martin and all these like nice features. I don't want to like talk shit about the song, but yeah, it's not my favorite.
Right on. I hope if somebody goes up to the band and says, "Hey, there's this podcast about you guys called the Demo Team. You should listen to this episode." I hope they're not talking about this episode. Y'all are really hard to please.
Man, when we get to Slouch, I'll start sucking dick. Don't worry.
Me first. But no,
He's gonna be slouching over.
But no, if anything, for me, that intro, that's like, I feel like someone slammed 2 cups of coffee down my throat once I woke up. That's what that intro is for
yeah.
me.
It's jarring. It's jarring a little bit.
It's like,
And I
whoa,
think
okay, let's
it's
go.
definitely it's like it's going for that shark dad thing, you know, where it's trying to unnerve you, it's trying to pull you up from the seams of your stuff. And like I dig that. I dig what he's going for because I like he does it again later in the song with ashes, ashes, ashes. I like that. That shit sounds cool, but just
Okay. I like that description.
pretending like he's Alpha 5 from Power Rangers and just going ay 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 ay. It's just, you know, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm
Dude,
just
I
not
love that.
I'm just not I'm sorry. I'm like maybe I'm fucking stupid. I don't know, but I'll
like
say it
seeing
right
that
now.
in a
Like,
live setting, like you can't help but to like jump in on it and just
if
feel
I'm, in,
like
if I'm in a live setting, I'm ready for it. But if I'm listening to DGD on shuffle and then like that just comes out
dude,
of
I'm turning
nowhere,
up. Turning up if it comes on shuffle.
that's why you're the man, Moses. You got the balls to do that. I'm a
But
weak, impudent little boy that like he has the courage to like just not like this song, but it makes me weak. You're stronger than me. I'm
no,
sorry.
man, not
Damn.
at all. You know, different strokes for different folks.
Jeez,
This,
Ryan.
This one rattles me.
I'm sorry. I don't
I
like
think it
being,
rattles Ryan too.
Yeah, I
bro.
guess.
Bro, when we get to Mothership, trust me, I'm gonna be slobbing all over knobs night and day. But like, just I'm sorry. Like I'm sorry to everybody listening that loves Artificial Selection. It's just this isn't my favorite DGD
Yeah,
album.
so
I'm
it
sorry.
sounds like you and Cash are just kind of getting bored during like this section of the album, and like I don't know, Cash kind of felt like this is supposed to like kind of pick the listener back up, but like let me like reiterate, dude. Like you start off with Son of the Robot, which you know, say what you will, that's the intro. Like Midnight
It's
Crusade,
good.
like
I
a
like
really
the intro.
punchy song. It's like fast paced.
Mhm.
Suspended in this disaster, you have like a big chorus.
Yes,
Air is kind of like your
melodic.
almost like slow ballad, but it really picks up in the outro. Kind of makes you feel good.
Oh
Count,
yeah. Wait.
Count
Oh,
Basie
never mind.
is
I
just kind of
was.
like kind of a weird spacey vibe. Then you go to Flash, and Flash is super poppy. You feel good. You're singing along. You're in your car or some shit, and like the Rattler just comes on, and you start a mosh pit, bro. So I don't know. I just don't see where you guys are, like yeah. I'm not really picking up on what you guys are saying as far as like the album's dragging.
Well, it's obvious. Ryan just isn't a fan of scary kids scaring kids. You know.
I really doubt that that's true. But
No, I mean
you might have just insulted Ryan.
no,
Are we
literally.
done? Wait? I don't even know where this came from, but are we done with the Rattler?
Well, I was gonna say this whole down part of the album. I think it starts at Count Basie, goes through Flash. The Rattler doesn't quite pull you back in, and then, well, I guess you have Shelf Life as like a Hail Mary kind of in that regard. But
I'm
Yeah.
agree
I
with
will say
you,
I
man.
love Count Basie and I love Shelf Life. Like there's two songs that just kind of take me out of it, but Shelf Life, like most people, like I've seen a lot of people diss on Shelf Life, and I'm glad it's the next song we're talking about, and I'm glad it's finally a chance for me to gush for something I really like, because Shelf Life is awesome because it's exactly what like I wanted out of a Dance Gavin Dance on this album because it's a definite turn of pace for them. You know what I mean? Like it's more down tempo, it's more melodic, and it definitely has like that Kurt Travis like solo album feel to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And that last comment I made, it was literally based off of, you not liking the John Mass being all wacky and screaming and all of that and the weird, the weirder aspects. That's literally, it was just a forced joke on that.
Shout out scaring kids, man. I love
Yeah.
that.
wait, Ryan, do you like scaring kids? Scaring kids?
Yeah.
I love I don't like them.
Yes, yes.
I love Scary Kids. I used to have Scary Kids, we're Scaring Kids merchandise, like CDs, T-shirts, posters. Like they were amazing. Like rest in peace, Tyson. Man.
Dude, I wish I could have seen them. You know, I was lucky enough to see them live when he was alive. But
Yeah.
like, I really wish I could have seen that reunion with Cove.
Yeah, bro, like you have no idea. Like, Stay Still tried to get on the bill. We couldn't get on the bill. I tried to buy a ticket for Chain Reaction. We couldn't. Nah, dude, that thing was sold out a month in
Dude,
advance.
it was so huge that a rapper that I listened to was at that show. Like this rapper named Lil Housebone, which like, I mean, I never knew he was into like post-hardcore or scene music. Like he's pretty, I don't know, just raps about like some rap shit, you know, like you know the like lyrical subjects not different than what you would hear in like, I don't know, a song by like Future or Lil Wayne or whatever. And to see him like go on IG Live, he's like, dude, I'm at the like Scaring Kid reunion. I was like, what the fuck? Like it really gave me a sense of like FOMO, because like if I was there and saw that he was there, like I would have like flipped out. But anyways, we're talking about Shelf Life, right? Like I gotta say that I love the transition from like Flash to the Rattler to Shelf Life. Like you got something kind of poppy summer vibe to something like heavier and you know, crazy sounding, and then you have Shelf Life, which is kind of like, I don't know, is it Dance Gavin Dance's saddest song?
Definitely a cool down
Shelf
compared to those
Life?
songs.
Yeah.
Nah.
It-
So,
it's
Nothing-
I feel like
nothing
there's early
shameful.
stuff that could beat it.
I mean, nothing
Yeah,
shameful
nothing
was pretty sad.
shameful.
It was pretty fucking sad. Like Andrew Wells, like made me depressed.
Nothing
Well, okay,
shameful,
but-
and
It's definitely
mean,
a contender though. Like
a
with
lot of
Moses,
Johnny stuff.
what Moses is saying though, it's definitely a contender because it is a very like downtrodden like lyrical song. Like this is somebody that's like feeling like their like existence in somebody else's life is just being put on the shelf. You know, like that sucks.
Shameful isn't as sad sounding instrumentally as this song. Like I think it really gets sad once Andrew comes in, but like I don't know, I think because of like how this song is instrumentally, like the majority of the song is kind of like emo sounding. Dude, I wish I could go back to the day when this album first dropped, and like I didn't really do it, like I didn't look anything up, I didn't see if there was any features or whatever. I was driving to the beach and I turned it on, and like right before I parked, Shelf Life came on, and it just like really surprised me. I was not expecting to hear Kurt on the album, and like, oh dude, that was such a great moment. And like I hope, I don't know, a lot of people had like kind of a similar experience of like just being utterly and pleasantly surprised by like hearing Kurt on a Dance Gavin Dance song again.
Right? I didn't expect in the future at all. Honestly.
I thought people knew about that
did.
before, but
Yeah, I didn't know
I
about it,
remember
but in addition, I really enjoy like the guitar riff and the bass riff during John's vocals, like during the chorus.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like Matt's drumming, like in the verse where he's just kind of like hitting away at the toms, like kind of complements that like emo vibe, like almost like yeah, it was almost like almost 90s emo sounding. I don't know. What do you got, David?
Yeah, if anything, I'd say that part where the guitar and the bass and the drums take over, and at least in the John section, that's like the most kinetic and my personal favorite part of the song. And I just want to say that. But what was the question? You said this is the most depressing DGD song, or
Just their saddest song.
saddest.
I'd say Happiness from Happiness. Happiness, and of course
yeah.
the Kurt track.
That's actually like a really good contender because I mean, what's sadder than being put on the shelf is sad, but like somebody dying and you having no connection to them anymore, like that's that's probably more emotional weight.
Yeah. Honestly, I want to listen to Happiness now, but no.
I think I have like a different view of like sad music, I think, than y'all. Because I mean, like, yeah, it's sad, but it doesn't really like hit me like sad like other stuff hits me as sad when it comes to Dance Gavin Dance usually.
What's your saddest song?
Dance Gavin Dance song or just like generally speaking?
Dance Gavin Dance.
I mean, I think the one that like gets me the most emotional is probably Purple Rain, but
at least we're having fun.
Yeah,
that's so it's so sad when Johnny's like blow away,
or like
I wasn't asking who does that though.
It's fucking awesome. I'm not gonna talk shit. I love that.
Previously Punch Easy.
Neither one of those songs strike me as sad. Like,
yeah, I mean,
well, it's like that's like Lost Lover sad.
Yeah,
or like Perfect is kind of sad. I don't know.
I wouldn't say it's sad, but
the guy's like, I was willing to admit you were perfect like before, but now not so much.
Yeah, it's like that line's kind of sad, and
I would say Shelf Life is sadder than that though.
I feel like I think Perfect. It just feels like it's more of like an inconvenience that you're not perfect than like
I get maybe I kind of like emotionally kind of understand like Johnny more than like I would say like Kurt, like, well, not necessarily like I resonate more with like Johnny stuff than I do with like Kurt stuff when it comes to like that kind of emotional appeal. And then I don't really think Tillian has that emotional appeal either.
So like Johnny had like his voice definitely is able to evoke emotions as far as like the melodies he comes up with and like delivers things, but like if you're like a sad boy, I think Kurt is the saddest of the three.
Oh yeah.
That boy's got some hurt.
Emotion more than the other two.
But baby, I'm a baller.
Tillian himself, but he definitely can go more emotional, especially like on Man of the Year.
Doesn't know how to be
turn out the part two.
I guess Exposed was pretty. It was like a pretty
Exposed
emotional Tillian song.
Yeah, I really like that too.
I'm just going through I'm looking through the discography right now and trying to think about. I think is
we just went off on this.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's a good topic though. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
like it.
Well,
obviously, I also don't really look at the lyrics that much either. I mean, I do to some extent, but like probably not as much as I don't like dive into them usually ever, unless like, I mean, there was like a time when I was like looking for like maybe to get like some like a Dance Gavin Dance tattoo, and I was like, well. And I was looking through lyrics and stuff, but like I didn't really find anything that appealed to me. So, or I mean, like I did, but like I don't.
Nothing.
It took a while to. I only found it like once I stopped looking for it.
I could vibe with that because I think what it is like Dance Gavin Dance.
Not that I condone Dance Gavin Dance tattoos.
Way to go! Way to go! I was just
about Dance Gavin Dance tattoos real quick.
We're gonna talk about Dance Gavin Dance tattoos.
Wait, should I or should I not?
Go for it.
I don't know. It depends what you're gonna do.
We need content. We need content. We have an hour and a half.
I'm probably gonna get one eventually if I get tattoos. I mean, I don't have any tattoos right now, but I do kind of want to get like a sleeve at some point.
If you're getting a Dance Gavin Dance tattoo,
I mean, just like one. I would be part of a sleeve.
A knife going through a strawberry. All right.
I'm not gonna get a knife going through a strawberry
to get it.
Almost certainly going to be like a reference from like one of the Johnny albums for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, like I'm just talking.
No strawberries.
Don't get that little dude on the raft with like.
Oh, I'm not going to do that either.
With the Pussy Vultures like lyrics, because that dude on the raft, first of all, is from the Happiness cover.
Yes, I know.
You're putting Pussy Vulture lyrics like to that tattoo. It makes no sense.
Dude, that guy with that
Pussy Vultures. That's a very sad song. That gives me.
That's 100%. That's probably like top 5
saddest song right there.
Sure.
That's like you fuck something up with your girlfriend. You like listen to Pussy Vultures.
It's just like to me, it just sounds so like, that it takes away from the sadness.
See,
But I
I
know,
disagree on the raft thing.
I know, like a lot of people do like listen to it when they're sad and like have some kind of emotional attachment to that song. It just like it missed to me, I guess.
Well, I kind of like how they connected the raft to an earlier album, Happiness. Like I feel like fans connecting more.
It's a boat. God dang it.
I mean, it's like it's an iconic thing, and so it's easy to like.
It's a rowboat.
It's easy to get a tattoo of that and like obviously know what it is.
Let me look at this shit up.
It's a rowboat, fuckers.
Okay, so we're
He's practicing for his crew race.
What's next? Is
a boat. Yeah.
It's self-titled A Marble.
I mean, what's it like to be a marble?
What's it like to be
the Big 8 on the Mothership album?
Wait, did everybody talk about Shelf Life already?
I was gonna. I think me and Cash need to touch on it a little more.
I could too, probably, but yeah. So
great.
He's got to go back to it, basically.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I'll go into my opinion, but before I was gonna touch on like the saddest DGD song is obviously Attack of the Young, Dashing, and Bold because it doesn't exist on Spotify or any streaming service.
Is that
that's
something on YouTube?
That's a demo.
Demos,
that's a
right?
super old demo.
Yeah.
That's like pre whatever I say is Royal Ocean.
Yep.
Oh man.
Whenever we were trying to decide what we were gonna do for this, I was kind of like wanting to go like start at the demos, like the really unknown ones, and like work our way up.
No, it's better. It's worked out great for us.
They work out well. Yeah.
I will say, like,
when we talk about Dance Gavin Dance,
since I mentioned that, doesn't like a guitar part appear on like Chucky versus the Giant Tortoise that was in Attack of the Dashing Young and Bold?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. The intro is the
down section.
The intro is that guitar riff reworked.
Nice. And I definitely get you. But Shelf Life, as I said earlier, like my words still stand. Like this is a great song. Like people that were expecting like a high octane Kurt song, like tough titties. But like there's definitely high octane parts that John Mess provides. Like Kurt's vocals in this song, I'm gonna say, are like it's a definite like full circle moment because like as we all know why he was asked to leave the band, but for him to come back and like put like hit the strength of his vocals on display is like a true like coming of age tale, like Rudy or Remember the Titans.
All right, maybe something like that. More like Invincible.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably Cars.
Yeah, Cars 2 with Larry the Cable Guy.
No, not Cars 2. Cars 1. It's the redemption story.
Okay, so
of Larry the Cable Guy.
What does Cars 2 have to do with this?
He was giving examples of sports movies that Kurt was like, and I was like, Cars.
Yeah, because ka-chow.
Ka-chow. But then again, he doesn't really redeem himself. He loses. It's like Rocky.
Yeah, there you go.
But he's okay with losing.
But that,
so maybe you're all right.
But that in itself is the moral
triumph, right?
But yeah, it's the triumph of going the distance, of people saying that he would never be anything and like never accomplish anything, and he went the distance with the world heavyweight champion.
Are you talking about Cars? Because
that's talking about Rocky.
Dude, let's talk about the songs.
You mean like Invincible?
Like Space Jam.
No, Space Jam is more like Cars, but then he wins in Space Jam though.
Hey, shut the fuck up, David.
Shelf Life, bro.
I've never seen Rudy though, so I don't know what happens.
Shelf Life.
But I'm pretty sure Rudy, the guy who in real life, he got he got in trouble for insider trading. So
nobody cares.
On Shelf Life, Rudy is not the lyrical content, but on Shelf Life, David, what do you think?
Shelf life. So I did. So I love how the guitar is interesting, dreamlike vibes, and I don't know. It's one of the more mellow, really. Like I said, it's super dreamy and almost I don't know, almost a bit of a romantic vibe with the guitar. I don't know, like it's a very interesting vibe, but it it definitely sticks out to me, and I like that. And Kurt, he works well with that more reserved, emotional vibe. So I feel like he has a lot of room to work with here. Good stuff. And I'm a Kurt fan, and yeah, Ryan, I'm one of those guys that wanted a more something more relatable to what we had on his previous DGD stuff. Like yeah, something more funky, more energetic. Something more rocking. So I wasn't expecting this.
Can I just on that note, since you said that, can I say that in Kurt's previous works, is there a song like Shelf Life with DGD?
Is there?
Maybe this was something Kurt wanted to do.
Swisher One, maybe, kind of something like that. Or
yeah, definitely.
Like maybe like Hot Water on Wool. Yeah. No, not like that.
Yeah,
no. That song's dope.
I wish it was that.
But that's what people. I think that's what people wanted.
No, I guess there isn't really one like that.
I mean, yeah, but David, continue on Shelf Life.
Yeah, so it's not exactly the direction like I would want. Like, oh yeah, they're having this lineup again. Oh yeah, I hope they do this. But like, I do like what they came out with. Something new, fresh. Not reliving the past. That type deal. That's all good. And John Mess, he brings the energy and the rhythm section, the guitar. They bring it. So there's that to enjoy. And like I said, it's probably my favorite part of the song. So I enjoy it for that. And of course, Tillian gets a feature. Shoot, we got Kurt and Tillian. It's good stuff. Pretty notable. So overall, it's probably my least listened song on the album, but all in all, it's a solid track. Good stuff. Well, that's my take.
Cash.
All right. So let me think of what sports movie I can compare it to.
Boy.
So I guess the problem with Shelf Life for me is that I don't really like the way it starts. And so it kind of, for a long time, I think that kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth, like as I listened to it. And then I kind of recently, when I've been re-listening, like I liked the song before. I thought it was fine, but I've been listening to it recently for this episode, and I think, and I've definitely, it's come around more. I think the chorus is probably the best part of it, and like the harmonization is really cool too. But I guess something about like the way it starts I don't really like it, but like I think it gets really powerful like towards the end of the song. So
my mistake.
Yeah, it's interesting. You usually don't hear Will Spawn starting off a song with that kind of guitar structure.
Yeah,
I feel that.
Shoot,
and I guess the guitar kind of reminds me of like Kurt's like solo stuff and things outside the band. So
definitely, I can resonate with that.
Yeah,
very different overall
for DGD.
Oh yeah,
but I mean, I feel like the John Mess part kind of brings it back down to that like DGD setting,
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I love it so
much.
I
do like the screaming parts for sure. Mm-hmm. With like the whole Kurt and Tillian harmonization with it.
What do you think of like Kurt hitting that like that just that when he's like when you feel any different, like just that like that chorus like roar that he's got, what you think about that, Cash?
Like, what do you mean exactly? Are you talking about
are you talking about when any different?
What do you feel?
I mean, I think there's other parts of the songs I found more notable though than that. Like definitely like when him and Tillian are like harmonizing with each other as John screams, like that's like that gets me way more than that part.
I get you.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, where they're both harmonizing that part. That's like it's a part of the whole John part. It's like the whole band is going at once. I think that's why it's kind of the best. Like it's like one cohesive chorus for everybody, basically, kind of.
All right.
Yep, but shoot,
Should we slouch into slouch?
Let's do it.
Slouch is the shit, man. That's my shit.
This track's a banger, man. It just not mentioned enough.
Yeah, 100%. Like from like the opening bass line, like from start to finish, the song is just it pops, man.
Oh yeah, dude. If you love yourself some Tim, shoot,
Yeah.
he's here to shine, man. He starts the song off.
Those drums
this
and
song
bass.
definitely has a awesome bass line, and for all the like gearheads or like pedal nerds that are wondering what Tim used to kind of get that really.
It's like overdrive, right?
No, it's a MXR micro flanger pedal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it was a pedal. Like they kind of gave it that whirring effect, especially in the beginning. I love that. That's great.
Sounds beautiful and fuzzy. I don't really have much to say about the song. Like it's a great song for sure. I think my favorite part about it is that bass and how full it sounds. The only other thing I really have to say about this song is that it's the second song that John mentions broccoli in the lyrics.
Can of broccoli. Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess what's his name was pretty big back then when this song came out.
Flow Rider? Pitbull?
No, not Flow Rider.
Not Pitbull?
The guy who made broccoli.
Broccoli Rob?
John probably just
Broccoli
Rob.
Rob.
the Jolly Green Giant? Wait, no, that's peas.
Dram and Lil Yachty?
Yeah, Dram and Lil Yachty. So broccoli was kind of a big deal back then when this came out. But
Wasn't that an original reference like in Downtown Battle Mountain 2?
Yeah.
Well, it is a very popular vegetable eaten all over the world.
It's rich in vitamin A.
I don't know what vitamin A does. Is it even that important? I feel like there's
vitamin
more
A
important vitamins.
is essential for your skin, and it's a power food, man. It helps you with your digestion. It helps keep you healthy. And like honestly, when people say you need to eat your greens, they're usually talking about broccoli.
Like Rocky 2.
Mm-hmm.
Broccoli 2.
Hey, speaking of Rocky, don't you think it's kind of fucked up that in the first one they told her to take the stupid girl to the zoo, and then in the second one Rocky takes Adrian to the zoo?
I don't even remember what happened in the second one.
So slouch.
Yeah, I mean, what is it, Moses? Like, he had no opinion on like the chorus, where like Talian's kind of like more introspective. Like he's literally talking about I lie awake, pacing back and forth.
I lie awake,
pacing back and forth, but it's definitely not one of their strongest. But all around, I love the song. But yeah, I
think the chorus is pretty good on this one. It's a little different, but it's good.
Yes. You know what? I actually wrote a note that there's crew vocals before the bridge, but I don't remember what those crew vocals are. But I think they happen during John's part.
Yeah.
Are you talking about when they all go whoa or whatever?
Yeah, whoa! That part is fucking awesome.
It's fun, yeah. That's fun.
I need more of that.
Dude, honestly, those are like so awesome because like in shows, like the crowd gets into it and it just sounds so good.
Definitely, I can agree.
If you
with
do
that.
it right, like everyone clapping during "Sorry You're Not a Winner" or something like that.
Fan interactions is always fun, where it's like kind of in the studio track,
Who has anything to add to Slouch?
I do actually. You know what? Yeah, you can go, Cash.
All right. So I guess I wrote these notes like back when we did the first artificial selection episode. So they're kind of based off those. And so if you remember 2 weeks ago, I was talking about how this is like their quintessential rock album. And I think this is like their quintessential rock song on the album. Super fun, but it's also pretty basic. Like the progression is pretty like standard as far as rock songs go.
More structured, yeah.
Yeah.
Say that.
And it's a cool ass song. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite song on the album, but I think it's definitely a solid one. And I think as far as like the kind of dip in the middle of the album goes, I think this and I think this song definitely like kind of brings you out of it for sure, and it kind of gets you excited for the end of the album. So
I don't know. I feel like while yeah, it's definitely in the vein of rock. I feel like it has more of like a Minneapolis sound, kind of like a Rick James, like funk.
Oh, the bass heavy.
Yeah, it's more like very funk driven. It's got like Don't Tell Dave, like funk party vibes to it.
It is pretty funky too. I'll give you that.
See, yeah, and I think it's because of like the guitar riff, on top of that freaking already funky bass riff. Like,
I guess
it's repeated a lot, but
like
it's really.
I mean, I guess it's just not standard like dance cabin dance music either, or I mean, whatever you consider that to be. But it's not like your standard like swancore, post-hardcore stuff. So
definitely not. But I don't know if I'd call it essential rock. It's definitely, for me, it's kind of like funk meets punk, especially like at the chorus. Kind of has like a pop punk vibe type of thing, and of course like the verses are more like funk driven.
Well, I mean, like when I said that, it wasn't necessarily. I don't necessarily mean that they were doing a rock song. I was saying like this is like their closest to like a rock song.
Yeah, I agree, but like I was just saying, because like Minneapolis sound bands like Prince and The Time and like even Rick James, like they definitely had rock and roll vibes on their stuff. It was just a little more funk driven.
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot of like bands like the late 70s, early 80s kind of had that sound. And I think a lot of people would consider like Prince and like Rick James like to be rock as much as they consider it to be like funk or disco or
I can get that.
So, yeah.
Most people don't know that Prince and Rick James could shred the fuck out of instruments,
Yeah, they could. I mean, definitely Prince, he's like fucking destroy guitars, man.
I mean,
and they're both on Chappelle's show, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Cold
Cold-blooded.
Charlie Murphy's brother was friends with both of them. Or Charlie Murphy was friends with both of them.
Charlie Murphy.
On that, like, in all honesty, they were
Couch.
French. The Prince and Rick James were like fierce rivals. Like Rick James hates Prince, like before, passing away.
I think Prince obviously got the upper end of that one.
Yeah.
Of course, that might be more Rick James doing.
Yeah. I mean, Rick James kind of got in his own way sometimes.
Yeah.
But shoot, I mean, back to that one song, whatever it's called.
Slouch.
Also, Will Swan. Prince is an influence for Will Swan. I don't know if Rick James really is that much. So,
I mean, have you heard that?
I mean, they probably are, but
those funky bass riffs, bro. Like Tim's gotta like, Super Freak or shit.
Well, actually, I remember an interview, and it was like Tim, Tillian, and Will, and they were talking about one of the questions was Prince or at the drive-in, and like everyone chose Prince except for Tim. He chose at the drive-in, so I don't know.
I mean, shit. That sounds like somebody who picked Rick James' side in the feud, bro.
I guess he was a really hardcore Rick James fan.
Yeah, dude. He doesn't want to let you know. So, inquiring minds, audience, based on Slouch, we want you to find out if Tim is a huge Rick James fan. Let us know in the comments down below,
or just ask us questions. You can do that too if you want.
Yeah, please.
We always forget to press questions, so
please ask us questions.
Please,
we'll
please.
We
have no one to talk to. We're just been at home the whole time.
Moses is not a fan of Rocky 2. He's more of a Rocky Balboa fan. Rocky 5,
Don't even get me started.
Was that the one that came out in like 2006 or something?
Rocky Balboa, yeah, perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Like not the greatest
Yeah.
film in the world,
It was
not
alright.
the greatest Rocky. It was fine. It was good.
I don't think I've seen
it has
like 3 or 4 though. So
Are we
It's-
done with Slouch?
Slouch, I
No,
think
we are
we're.
not.
Do you got something to say on it, David?
Go, David.
I do. I stand this song. Okay, but yeah. So this song is more structured, and I like it. You know, I like how obviously we all like the bass riff. I never noticed until now how the guitar riff is literally just the bass riff, but using guitar, and it. I love it when it's catchy enough to kind of make its own verse, and then I'll switch to that dissonant chord thing where John kind of comes back before the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
I like where
Killing
this
kills.
stuff.
Killing kills it on the vocals too, dude. Like those highs, like are sick.
dissonant chords. We talking about the Rattler again?
No. We're going forward, not backwards.
Right. No,
We aren't though, because we're going the opposite direction in the album order.
Are we?
Nobody dissonant chords more than I do.
I mean, if you say dissonant chords, you just think of Drop Dead Gorgeous, right?
Well, first thing that comes to mind is actually Norma Jean's "Bless the Martyr, Kiss the Child." But
All right. Don't
And-
show your age now.
well,
Come on.
chord side C.
Dissonant
uh,
reminds me of when I was in an industrial band for a month.
but no, like
So, story of my bros. Are we moving on?
Yeah.
You got anything else to say, David?
Yeah, like-
Yeah, David.
yeah, I was like, basically, I just really like his lyrics in this chorus, like in other retrospective, and it's like, yeah, no, if I just kind of stayed focused and stayed on my game, I'd be so much farther. But obviously he hasn't, in some cases, and he's like lamenting that, and it's honestly pretty relatable. And I like when Tillion's more relatable instead of, oh, I'll be your sugar daddy, oh, I'm a baller, I can actually connect with the guy, you know what I mean? And then it's funny because after that, the song kind of meanders on these chords, like these notes. They're actually really fun. Like actually, when I was listening to this track, I had to kind of tab it out for myself. They're really fun. But the song kind of meanders on these, that notes, and then the chords kind of come in as a harmony. And to me, it kind of speaks to me like, oh yeah, like the guitar is kind of meandering along, and then it's joined by the chords, and it's like, hey, yeah, we're all slouching, and then the gang vocals come in, and it's like, yeah, like I said, we're all slouching, and then John comes in, he's all pissed off, and it's just a fantastic way to end the album, or not the album, the song, you know what I mean? I just feel like it kind of has themes that reflect.
I get
That's
that.
just my take.
I can
But
agree with
overall,
that.
yeah, fire song. Go listen to it again, please.
Sure.
But if anything else, yes, Story of My Bros.
DGD does pop
Oh
up.
wait. When we
Better
do
than-
Story of My Bros, we're gonna have to talk about the acoustic briefly
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Forgot about that.
Dance Gavin Dance doing pop punk better than most pop punk bands, I should add.
Right?
Yes.
Sad but true, and I'm a huge pop punk fan.
Sad but true.
Like they've alluded that, this is them just kind of joking around, but like they did a good job like pulling the sound off. It's got a beautiful bridge too, like instrumentally, and Tillion's vocals. And I kind of like the songs where John Mesk like kind of breaks that fourth wall. He like jumps in and says, I like to make a mess and shit on everything. Like, he's kind of talking about his like lyrical content and how like I feel like
He's
people,
become self-aware.
yeah, and people try to take it too literally when in fact, he's just fucking around. And he does it so well too.
Right? I'd say that's the second best John line before I'm smoking weed out of a pussy filled with money. I like this. That's probably my favorite John line.
So
That's a good one. I'm glad
Like,
he said
like,
it and not Tillion.
like Cash mentioned, they did the acoustic version for Pop or Punk Goes Acoustic. I just feel like it's the easiest song to pull off acoustically, I mean, what they did Death of a Strawberry acoustic for some like Journey's live session.
They did. It's
But
not
yeah,
aware of that.
like a more pop punk song is gonna be easier to pull off on acoustic. So I guess since we're talking about the acoustic version as well, like I'd also like to hear like what song would you guys like to see Dance Gavin Dance do acoustic?
A song, like an
Off
already
this
existing
album or in
song.
general?
Just
Yeah,
in general. I don't have an answer yet, so yeah, I would love to hear what you guys have to say.
Are you talking about us or are you talking about the audience?
Oh, you guys.
Okay.
So an already existing song, but turned acoustic, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
I would think on that.
I mean, you
What do you think, Moses?
obviously talk about this the song that we're talking about while we think of this. Who's
Well,
got on
I will
story?
say there's probably a lot of good stuff on this album you could do. Because a lot of it's more of your basic, like more basic progressions and things like that. So
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so does anybody have anything for bros?
yeah, I
I-
guess. Or you go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna say, like, you're saying, like, what songs you would like to hear, like, acoustic. I would say, like, if I had to pick one, like, probably Turn Off the Lights and Watching Back to the Future Part 2.
Really?
And just for the fact I would like to hear what the hell it would sound like, probably Powder to the People, just to hear how high, like that would sound on a guitar, because that just sounds like it would be obnoxious on an acoustic.
No, I love when acoustic guitars go high. Like you can even hear them, like Strawberry Girls, stuff like that.
Mhm. I feel like because Will was saying himself, like, the reason why they don't play Turn Off the Lights Part 2 live is just because there's just so much click timing with the drums in the beginning of with the guitar intro. And I feel like if he did it acoustic, like, that eliminates half the problem for him, you know?
Yo, okay, so basically the song's too hard, and
Yeah, I mean,
Well, he said it like he thought about it differently, which I totally get. Like he had a different idea for it, and then they recorded it differently. Like that's a pretty fair reason not to do it.
yeah,
to
because
not
those
like
tempo
doing
changes are insane, and
Yeah.
replicating that live, yeah, I could see how that's difficult.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
pretty
it's
I love it.
syncopated.
I hear it.
Like, I don't think it's like too hard for him to do. I think it's more along the lines that, like, if he has to play this song every night, it just sounds like something he doesn't want to do every single night.
Well,
like, it's a pain
I
in
don't
the
think
ass.
it might not be that either. I think it's more like not necessarily it's too hard for him, but it's like he doesn't want the liability of doing it and like screwing it up, I guess maybe.
Then throwing everybody off.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
songs
like
that bands and artists like avoid because they're too hard to pull off live, and I think they've mentioned that some songs are, and I can't remember
More challenging.
what those songs were, but yeah, like one time I met Haley Williams after a Paramore show. This was like back in like the earlier days, and it might have been like my 5th time seeing them, and like every time that I saw them, they never played the song Brighter, and it's my favorite song off of the first album. And like I asked her, that was like the first question that came to mind, like, why don't you guys ever play this song live? She's like, I can't pull it off at all. Like, you don't want to hear me like, sing it live. And I thought that was
Moses. Get her on the show.
Yeah. Be like, hey, remember
Remember when you said you couldn't sing your own fucking song?
No, shout out to Haley Williams. She's the best.
Yeah. She's chill.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that first album again.
She's cool, unless you ask her, like, the two dudes that used to be in Paramore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there bad vibes with that? Or
Well, no,
They basically said that she's an industry plant, and that their whole band was structured around Haley and her success, and that Haley's dad was like their manager and basically stifled them and tried to focus on Haley.
like
I can see it.
It's pretty Haley driven,
but I did see that she was the only one that had a major label deal, and the band was basically treated as
Like her backing
live
band.
but I don't know if that was her doing and her like managers doing, or if it was the labels doing. But yeah, it kind of sucks, and like yeah, that's why the Farrow brothers quit the band. That and other drama that happened as well. Um, but yeah, Zach or not is Zach the drummer? The drummer ended up Zach ended up rejoining the band, but their bass player, who's badass, left the band. So now like you have like one original member, and then Taylor who joined after Josh and Zach left. But shout out all those guys. I hope they're doing great.
Yeah,
I would love to see the original Paramore lineup come back together. That'd be dope. But yeah, Story of My Bros. And I thought of what song I'd want to hear acoustic, and that's Exposed. Somebody
oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
That would sound cool.
Seems like a no-brainer. Wow.
That'd be like
so there's this guy in that Dance Gavin Dance Facebook group that you guys mentioned a couple episodes ago. His name is
John Mess Across America?
Something like that. So the guy's name is Jaron Churchwell, and shout out that guy. But he has done a bunch of, or not a bunch, but like 5 acoustic Dance Gavin Dance songs, and they're all pretty good. And one of them was Exposed, and I think that's the best one. And like it's beautiful. Like it's a beautiful sounding song. I'm gonna put it on the playlist this week.
Do you
give us that guy's name one more time, because that sounds like really cool.
Shout him out.
Jaron Churchwell, and here I'll give you the list of the songs that he does. Powder to the People.
Oh, what?
Oh, that was one of the ones. Actually, never mind. That was gonna be.
He does Honey Revenge, Happiness.
That's a good one.
Exposed, and Pussy Vultures.
Oh, I was gonna say Pussy Vultures.
I said Powder to the People. Now I really want to check this motherfucker out. What was that? Justin Churchwell?
Jaron, I'm gonna send you guys his stuff on the chat.
Let's totally make a post for that on the page, because that sounds like something that people
shut them off for sure.
Yeah,
y'all know who the Toadies are? There's like a band from Texas.
You know what? So when I moved to Texas, my coworkers were talking about the Toadies, and I'm like, who the fuck are the Toadies? And they acted like I'm some kind of noob for not knowing who they are. Like, all right, well, so is Whataburger. Like, what are you trying to say?
I mean, yeah, everyone in Texas knows who they are. They like get constant radio play, but like they had an acoustic version of one of their songs, and I'm like thinking about it, and it probably would sound like exactly like Exposed acoustic. I don't remember the name of the song though, but I like have it in my head.
But shout out that guy Jaron, because I've talked to him a couple of times in the group, and I was like, dude, are you ever gonna do more covers? And I guess he's tried, but he hasn't really liked the way that they've came out. So hopefully he keeps at it, and we get a new set of acoustic covers.
So
I think
Jaron Churchwell. Spell that. Jaron. There you go.
Yeah, I sent you guys a link on the chat.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. We gotta shout that guy out, because that's like really cool.
I think Don't Tell Dave would be cool acoustic if you did it right. Like I think it'd have to be Kurt doing it too. But and then pretty much the end of Downtown Battle Mountain 2 would probably sound good acoustic. So
I would love Carl Barker just because of
that would be pretty good. That would be pretty good.
I changed my answer. I changed it to the
I bet you there's a video of Kurt playing Carl Barker acoustic somewhere. Maybe
100% probably.
Like he's probably sitting on a stool in someone's like musty basement somewhere in the Midwest, and he's playing.
Right. Thankfully, he has Swisher 2 at least.
But
But no, for me, like I'd say it exposed. Like you picked it out because actually I was learning the chorus of this song and like I was playing it out. I have an acoustic, and I was like, "Yo, this song would sound great as an acoustic track." Like you could just see Tillian doing a solo. You know, what is it? It could be one of his VIP songs. He breaks out and he just breaks out the old acoustic and he sings exposed. Like I could see it.
He could like give the band a break during the concert and just does like expose like in the middle of the set, and let everyone else like sit out on the side of the stage or whatever.
Yo, exposed for Tillian, people for John. We need that.
People acoustic.
No, not acoustic, but like
all right.
I want John and Tillian to have their like
give Tillian a break.
So like basically the band gets a whole break and then Tillian leaves the stage after he does exposed acoustic, and then they all come out and play People You Know.
Bro, yes. Yeah. Petition right now.
That's not a terrible idea, dude.
Well, since we're on that subject, I was gonna say, do you guys prefer People You Know or People You Knew?
People You Know for sure.
Don't make me choose. No.
People You Knew is like, I think there's definitely a reason why People You Knew didn't make the album.
Oh.
Can't necessarily say that about Perfect though.
Dang, bro, that's some shade right there.
It's just like it's kind of like weird and mediocre. But I like the vision. But
even when I was trashing the songs I didn't like, I wouldn't say mediocre.
I don't know. It's just like I kind of like the vision. It's like that kind of like a lo-fi kind of just like streaming song, but like I don't know. I don't think it landed right.
You feel like it's a secret band B-side?
Probably not.
You don't even give it that respect. I see how you are.
I feel like it was something they were trying and it didn't, and it was like, I don't know. Then they needed 2 songs and they chose that one for some reason.
The Demo Team podcast for all your Dance Gavin dance needs.
No, exactly, because People You Knew. See, I'd say People You Knew is like better as a shorter, cohesive song. Mm-hmm. And the instrumentals are just fire, man. Like, and they invoke so much emotion, even without the vocals. I'd say.
Thinking about it, I think it's underproduced, and I think if like they went back in the studio and like shined it up a little bit, I think it probably would have been a cool song. But
all right, so
in its current form, I think I desire more.
Yeah, but Story of My Bros, yeah, my opinion on that is meh. On to Hair Song.
Whoa, it's actually my favorite song. So
Story of My Bros is your favorite song
all time favorite song
on this album or forever?
I like it more than Stairway to Heaven, 1812 Overture,
yeah,
Don't Stop Believing,
yeah, Story of My Bros,
Marvin's Room.
I respect that y'all like Story of My Bros, but I'll just say that I wish the bridge was the chorus, and then I would love this song a million times more. Does anybody else have anything to say on Story of My Bros?
I think Story of My Bros is like Flash Part 2.
Yeah, there you go.
I like the 1-2 drums. Like that's like something they don't ever do ever. Which is like the punk beat, like. I mean, the verse like not lyrically, but like the progression and like the structure is very basic, and it comes out great. And I think the acoustic version is really fun too.
Definitely,
kind of gives me Sum 41 vibes, because like the way it's a punk pop song, but it still has like some cool guitar soloing over it. So
yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
All right.
Hair Song. Moses.
Okay, so Hair Song. We have a guitar feature from Andrew Wells.
Who's that?
From Idola and Dance Gavin Dance's touring second guitar.
Never heard of him.
It's actually my favorite song instrumentally on the album. It's just I don't know, really cool sounding. So the second part of the bridge where Tillian says, "Where I leave my woes behind," the instrumental reminds me of like the back catalog of instant gratification and DBM2. Like I don't know, something about that guitar riff just kind of reminds me of like, you know, we were talking about Purple Rain and Privilously Ponchizide or
Frivolously.
that like those aren't even real words, but
Previously
Right?
Gronkowski.
Is
That
it?
was my.
yeah.
Is it a real word?
No, they're not real words. I've looked it up.
No, they're not. They're not real words. But
Oh.
now my phone autocorrects to frivolously because I typed it out so many times in
Same
Swan
here.
posting.
Good
Same
man.
here. Yeah, so you know, great song. Love the instrumentals. What you guys got?
Yeah, I'd
Go
say
ahead,
this. Thank you, appreciate it. I think this song, like, really, like, just from the beginning, it really brings you back to, all right, this is DGD. You know, it's really, you know, it's playing on, you know, their sound that you know them for a bit more, you know, more kinetic. You know, you got John starting it off, the chords are hammering at you. You know, it starts off kinetic, and then when Tillian comes in, you got the little tapping part. Like it's very kinetic, super tasteful. I love it. You know, good start. And then it's yeah, the part you're talking about, Moses, where it slows down, and Tillian kind of gets his own little more melodic moment. The part you mentioned, where he actually hits a really high note, actually, that for that one line you mentioned, and I don't know, man, just a lot of it really nice, a lot of nice elements, and in general, that guitar section, where it's really just more ambient. See, for this album, there's a lot of moments where they kind of slow down, and it's really atmospheric, and they're just kind of trying to invoke really nice chill moments. You know, I feel like Will Swan did a lot of meditating. He was just out in the forest with his guitar, kind of, you know what I mean? I get that vibes a lot with this album.
And this song did not get a animated video, man, for
That's a
being
shame.
a robot song.
Oh, is it a robot song? Because it's just hair song.
Song. No, it's
Okay.
actually
Oh,
a robot song. If you have
Just because it has hair in it.
no, if you listen to the lyrics, what does he say? He mentions the robot somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I remember that now.
what was it? Yeah, and yet they did release. Oh, you're talking about the lyric video that they did?
No, I'm saying it didn't get like a animated robot with human hair video.
That is a shame, but like the lyric video was pretty cool at least. I did like that. Actually, like yeah, I wasn't too big on the song, but when once I had the visuals to kind of read the lyrics and everything, like that kind of really pushed it into the direction where I was like, okay, this song's good stuff,
Yeah.
Shoot, how about you, Ryan? Like,
Hair song. This would be one of the 5 out of 13 that I'm just not vibing with very much. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I've tried. I've for this podcast, I've been listening to Artificial Selection all weekend, and I feel like this being part of the 5, like these songs are kind of just a chore for me to get through, and I don't know. I just. I'm sorry. Like without being cruel, like I don't know what to say. Like it's just not me. It's just not my vibe.
hey, that's fair, man. Shoot, I'm surprised though, 'cause I really feel like this is like the most like
It's the most Ryan song.
No.
Oh yeah, his little Swan song. No, but I feel like this is the most like, oh yeah, this is DGD from like if you're like, oh, I want something from like the instant gratification. I want something from their older sound instead of these singles they're focusing on. I feel like Hair Song's, a song you could give to that kind of person, you know what I mean? But
so my opinion about Hair Song is like, I think it's probably like the the like median in the album. It's like the midway point, like as far as quality of songs go. And so it kind of like, and I like the song a lot, and so it kind of backs up like my idea that this is a great album, because it's just like, this is like probably, as far as quality of songs go, this is like right in the middle there. This is like the 7th best song. And so I guess, like I said on Story of My Bros, it kind of reminds me of Sum 41. It kind of has like that pop sound, but like it also has like the solo and guitars over it. And that's pretty much all I got to say about it.
Yeah, same, honestly.
Not too much more to say about that. Gospel Burnout.
Ooh, a lot more here. So this track, Gospel Burnout, it's way more reserved, man. It's, you know, another track that's like really different, you know, similar to Count Basie, Shelf Life. More reserved, you know. Tillian starts out, his lyrics are, you know, kind of calling out the more negative aspects of society, and it's like I said, I really like his lyrics here. It's more driven. He's talking about real stuff you can agree with or relate with, you know. So I feel like these are some of, you know, Tillian's more solid lyrics, I'd say, actually.
More what? Solid?
Yeah, these are like, you know, some of more more solid lyrics.
For sure. Like there's some kind of depth to them.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot, I can appreciate that. And, hey, that's for people that say, "Oh no, you know, don't expect much quality from the lyrics. You know, it's just bubblegum pop and wacky stuff. You know, it's like, nah. I'd say there's some quality in retrospect here. You know."
Yeah. If I can continue, are you
Go
done?
ahead. Yeah. No.
I really love the drum and bass in the song. Like they kind of create like I don't know, just an overall good vibe. And like you said, it's kind of more of a reserved song, but I think it's still a great kind of instrumental track. But I actually like enjoy the lyrics. I don't know, it kind of feels like commentary on like their peers in the music scene.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like this might be a stretch, but the first verse could be about Jesse Lacey from Brand New when he says "Die young, until the truth comes out." Like, "Die young and save yourselves," like a line from
the
big Brand New song, and you know, like I said, it just seems like it's about like, you know, your heroes or even your peers just kind of not living up to what you thought they were, you know, or eventually like you find out the truth about people and they're like dickheads or whatever.
That's a cool point. I never thought about that before.
That's actually like quite ingenious. Like me neither.
Yeah.
Like live long enough to become the villain, you know, that kind of Batman quote.
Exactly. Yeah. Nah.
But also, Deja Nintendo. Fuck, what is the song? I'm just looking it up right now. Fuck, what was that Brand New song? The one that everyone knows?
Keep your feet on the ground.
No, not that one. Not the quiet. It's Sick Transgloria.
Well, okay, you were singing The Quiet Things That No One Ever Knows.
What? No, yeah, he was singing Quiet Things No One Knows, but it's Sick Transgloria was what you were referencing.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was referencing.
Yeah.
Shoot. Any other thoughts to yourself?
I didn't really write too much for this one. The beginning was cool. I think a lot of people thought this had to do with Johnny too. So.
I wouldn't say it's like aimed at Johnny.
Yeah, I didn't really agree with that. Like, I know a lot of people do think that.
I mean, he says like, "All my friends I used to love turn out to be sociopaths." Yeah, it seems to be talking about like Moses said, like a group of people, you know, kind of following a darker path or following mistakes and faults. You know what I mean?
Or it might just be like they're friends with crazy people.
Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah, people you know, right? But no, and then John comes in, and his chorus, dude, he, this is really where he's like leaning in on that sing scream thing. I love that whole pitch. He's screaming on pitch and doing all that. I actually absolutely love this chorus here. And obviously we see more of this on Afterburner. But I think this is one of like my favorite like sing scream choruses he ever does, and especially shoot his lyrics. What is it? So it's like it seems to be talking about like I don't know. It seems to be talking about people that are kind of a little bit lazy and expect things to be handed to them. Loki, I'm not sure.
I
Yeah,
like the. I'm not really that into the chorus, but I like the prose chorus or bridge or whatever it is. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
It is kind of a weird song, for sure. Subverts expectations.
It is structured a little oddly.
Ryan, do you have anything?
The song is part of the infamous 5 for me.
Oh.
Well, I just feel like it lags, it drags, and
Yeah.
it's part of the problem of why I feel like the middle of this album's just like kind of like it just drags. Like in terms in the context of the album, I feel like it drags, but as like a song, I feel like it's fine. It's a fine song. It's not my favorite. I dig like the transitions and the instrumentals. Like it just feels grandiose, and it kind of does have like that gospel feel, like where everything kind of just feels larger than life at times. But in terms of the album, I feel like it's keeping me away from Bloodsucker and Evaporate and all the other songs that I really want to get to because I really love. You know what I mean?
The third to last song. What other songs are you talking about besides Bloodsucker and it?
Right? Yeah.
It's in the way of Bloodsucker and Evaporate. That's what I'm saying.
Honestly, okay.
This is the end of the middle, man. It's in the way.
And it's part of the end. I think the three last songs.
Something about the song, it like kind of oscillates between like being kind of happy sounding and not being very happy sounding.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting. But
it's definitely got an interesting vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like,
it is pretty light in parts, almost like whimsical.
Shut that shit down.
Right. See, and this was actually another car ride song that I shared with a friend, and this is a track that we'd spam a lot when this came out. So this, like I said, there's a lot of elements I do like about the song, but there is that emotional value. So I mean, part of me has more like emotional favoritism towards this than even Bloodsucker and Evaporate. I know that's a bit, I don't know. This track just gets me, man.
It's definitely a good deep cut and back catalog type of song for sure. It's not that really stands out, but it's a great song nonetheless.
Yeah, I just recommend people give it another listen. Just give it a try. But it's fine.
I mean, you can if you want.
Are we done with Gospel Burnout?
I think the consensus is it's kind of meh.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot, and it's like that's fair. I understand that, but shoot, I'm just seeing I just see a lot of what people aren't seeing or enjoying in it, and it's like,
I think that's the best part about being a Dance Gavin Dance fan is everybody's got different opinions and everyone's allowed to like what they want. And as long as we love the band and preface every statement we make that's negative with that, then I think we're okay.
Are you guys out of this topic and ready to move on to Bloodsucker?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. So if I were to ask you, like, which members have been on every song, what would your answer be? Like, what band members have been on every song, like recording wise?
Will Swan.
Will and Matt.
Was Matt on the last song on DVM1 though? Was there drums on that?
Dude.
If I recall correctly, this is the first album where Will Swan does not appear on a track, and Matt Mingus is now the only member that has been on every single.
You're correct. Matt Mingus has actually been on every song and is the only member of the band that has been on every song.
Was he really?
Will, so Will's not on
He's
this
like
song?
R2D2 and C3PO because they've been in every Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
Or maybe Solo. I'm not sure.
so instead of Will on guitar, this song features both Andrew and Martin. Andrew Wells and Martin Bianchini from Secret Band. And as we discussed, Andrew Wells.
Well, what's the
Is
deal
not-
with that, man?
You know what? I don't
That's
know.
what I'm
Maybe.
asking.
Well, that's a question for Will. We'll ask him on episode 20 of the podcast.
No,
Episode
bro.
45.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. Like when I heard, I didn't hear it till later, but like Will isn't on this, and it's Martin doing all that stuff. I'm like, whoa.
It's Martin and Andrew.
Yeah, and I was just like, wow. I thought all this crazy riffing stuff. Like I thought that would have been Will, and then translate to Secret Band, and it's like, wow. Like it makes you think, oh yeah, I know when it's Willis Swan playing, but like this makes me think, well, shoot, on Secret Band, like who's, it kind of makes you question, like, shoot, who's playing who? Like they can kind of mimic each other's sounds, and
Yeah,
so
I think Matt really shines on this song. And he's like the only member that's been on every song. I thought I'd point out that he's the drumming in this song is pretty badass. Another thing that I mentioned is that I feel like this album was kind of more for the fans because it has Kurt and a bunch of other references. But in this song, John actually mentions nobody out here has been talking to Dave. So nobody has told Dave still.
You're right.
I just realized that I totally interrupted you, David. What were you saying?
Don't tell him.
Well, Will ain't even like him when I got to say, so I don't think it matters.
I'm sorry about that. I've totally cut you off.
No, it's
Don't
okay.
just don't tell him, Dave. Don't
you off.
see. That's the thing, Dave. You don't have to tell him because he wanted. Don't tell Dave. You don't tell him. Don't tell Mo.
So
Don't ask, don't tell Dave.
I thought that the lyrics of this song was a commentary on the like Me Too movement. Or at least that's what I saw like on Reddit. But Tillian actually wrote. What's up?
Like, was it what is that like? Because obviously, Tillian's kind of speaking towards more political topics, but it's like, which one?
So Tillian actually tweeted that he wrote the lyrics after watching I, Tonya and how one-sided it seemed. So I guess that's what the song's really about. Like I get it. Like if you watch the movie, it was created for you to like
that was
for Tonya Harding and like the shit that happened.
But I mean, I guess they did kind of. I don't know. That movie fucks me up, honestly.
Oh,
Great
you'll have
film.
to drop it in the chat, but
I mean, like I like it, but it like I feel like it glorifies like abusive relationships too much.
Oh, that's never good.
I don't know about glorifying it.
Well, it's like it makes it just I felt kind of dirty watching it because it just felt like they made like the whole abusive, like they have like a whole montage of him being abusive or whatever, and it's just like, but they made it almost fun looking, and it's just like I didn't vibe with that at all.
Yeah, love don't make
like
you
they'll do like a poppy song behind it or something.
I'd have to rewatch it because I really don't remember that, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys have to say about the song?
I think it's got like the best chorus I think on the album.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Interesting. See, the chorus, I don't know. Like I do like the direction. I do like the topic, and the motivation behind it. That's cool. That's good stuff. But I don't know, melody wise, it really doesn't grab me. Like it's I don't know. Yeah, like the chorus sonically does not, like, it isn't catchy to me personally.
Yeah, to me the chorus doesn't really stand out until like before the bridge where they add more to it. What is it? Like
like where like the part, yeah, that is cool too.
Okay, that part's
I mean,
fact, like I don't know. I feel like that adds more to the chorus, which was kind of meh. Like,
Really?
That was a
again,
good addition. I'd say.
You know,
Wow.
I mean, I felt like that was like where you got Tillian like doing like kind of almost like a bit of like a growl, but also like being really like larger than life with it.
Yeah, I
Like
could
it-
agree.
I can't believe you.
Momentum and
Yeah, it's a great chorus. I'm
I 100% behind this chorus.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
there's
the
definitely
chorus
things to
makes the
like.
song.
Yeah,
Like-
like 100, like everything about this song, like this is one of those songs for me that like I scratch my head, like how did this not? Is this not a single? This isn't a single. Like how is this not a single?
it's definitely not.
I kind of
It
it's
should have
like
been,
kind
though.
of different, so I can see why it's not a single. But like
Should have been.
it's like I think this is my favorite song on the album. I think.
It's up
And,
there. Man, like
like-
I really like the chorus, everything about it. Sorry, Cash, go ahead.
The guitar parts like before the like I guess I don't know if I'd call it a verse, but maybe it is a verse. Like the Holy John parts, like
yeah.
those are good, but like it's definitely the chorus that makes it the song for me. The song
Shoot. Yeah,
like,
go
it
ahead.
takes it over the top.
I think
It takes it over the top, and
John's verses more than Tillian's chorus.
Yeah, see, I'm right there with you, Moses. Like the intro and like John's parts, like with the frantic guitar riffing, like I'm all for that. And he really,
Do you even love her?
yeah,
Ask your
I
own mother.
yeah. I thought
which
thought
that was
part
also really
fun.
good too, though.
But yeah,
I'm
I
not saying it was bad.
do like his. I like how he's kind of just going off and screaming, and I like it. I like he. I don't know how. Is that what you'd like describe as like scrams and stuff like that? Like he's just kind of having fun screaming and like wilding out with it. You know what I mean? Especially in those verses.
Definitely.
Overall, I mean, the chorus is all right. Does not stand out to me though, like as being like a big Tillian chorus.
Man, that's you've become predictable, bro.
Yeah, I felt this Tillian
Yeah.
chorus was pretty predictable. Like,
No, man.
It's just not that catchy. It's just
This is the heel turn of the century, man. You guys are up there with Hulk Hogan joining the NWO, man. Like this is betrayal. Like I thought you guys would love this song. I love this song.
Oh, I
This
do
is
like.
part of
I love this song.
this is part of the 8 songs that I adore on this album, and you guys have reached my fave 5 of adoption. Like I'm gonna put you guys in an orphanage now.
Like, I think people with better opinions, but no, it's like I do like this song, but like this is actually a song I'd tweak and like fix around parts if I could, like for like my personal song if I were to like rework it to be like my optimal version of like the best song it could be, that's just me personally,
Yeah.
But you
To
like,
me,
but you
just
like
another
hair.
for the back catalog.
yeah.
You're gonna like Hair Song and say Bloodsucker needs fixing when it's like one of the best songs on the album. Get out of here.
Lord.
Yeah, it's definitely the
It
opposite.
sounds good too though. Boy.
Then that chorus is so fucking powerful too.
Dude, that chorus is stuck in my head
It
right
hits
now.
you
Like
so, yeah,
I'm
it
thinking
hits
of
you
it
so
too.
hard.
I can hear it in my head, and these guys over here are like, oh, that's a weak chorus, bro. Like I
No,
wouldn't
it's
take
not weak. It's
I wouldn't take my daughter to prom to that. Like what the fuck? Like get out of here.
Dude,
That's all-
that chorus is so strong. It's like
That's so flat.
and it's strong the whole time. They add to it and it gets stronger, but like it's strong the whole time.
Yeah,
Doesn't
like
mean nothing.
it's an earworm, bro. It gets stuck in your head. Like it's up there with like Count Basie and Suspended in This Disaster with like the catchiest shit on this album.
Oh,
No, that's it, man. Adoption,
Definitely not on the
orphanage.
Count Basie and Suspended in This Disaster.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying it's in the same.
Oh,
tier
it is
of-
better though.
Not
It's
in the.
definitely better. It's the best song on the album.
It's
All
like
right,
a tier.
Cash, you're adopted now too. You're in the orphanage, bro. Like,
you're out of the
What's the
family.
best song on the album then?
Wait, which is better than Bloodsucker? Are y'all saying, or what is it?
Nothing.
No,
yeah,
I-
the best song on the album is the next song that's coming up, bro.
Evaporate?
Yeah.
Wow, that's what a unique opinion.
What do you
Actually,
mean?
no one's ever said that before.
Okay, that sounds like a hipster thing to say there, Cash.
Oh,
well, dude,
All right.
Like
Wow, you like the song with 5 other songs in it?
Yeah, Evaporate is like my favorite song for all the casuals out there.
Yeah, it's like
Really? You're gonna call like liking old Dance Gavin Dance a casual thing? Wow.
No, no,
they only played the hits on this one.
that's not. No, they
Times New Roman. Me and Zoloff.
Those are
Me and Zolf is like I think the most obscure song they on
That's
Evaporate.
It's a single.
It is a single though.
No,
Yeah.
actually, the
Me
most
and
obscure
Zoloff is a
the Pride
single.
from Cuba.
Moses, go.
I said the most obscure reference on there.
Ooh.
Actually, I would say it's the second most obscure reference. So I'll give you the list of the songs that they reference at the end, and I think this is in order too. So it's Surprise I'm from Cuba.
Okay, that's the most obscure.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. I do like
Me
that.
and Zoloff. Then they cut into Times New Roman. Then John does a acceptance speech line.
Yes.
They go to Tree Village from there to We Own the Night. And then Backwards Pumpkin when he goes for one good note or whatever. And then Alex English, of course.
Yep.
But the most obscure reference is the guitar riff. It's part of Burning Down the Nicotine Armor.
See, I've heard that, but like
Part 1 or 2.
One.
Wait,
One.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty obscure.
Well, they have the same breakdown technically. Part 1 and 2. It's just slightly
All right, I'm
different.
gonna have to re-listen now.
Yeah, listen to the breakdown.
You've blown my mind.
It's
But hey, remember, if you listen to this song, you're a filthy casual because you like all their Dance Gavin Dance songs that came before this. You
I'm
fucking
like, that's just
casual.
it's like low hanging fruit for it to like.
Low hanging
Yeah.
fruit. Nuts are low hanging fruit, bro. Like,
Wow. Soulcore is going to hate this episode.
Okay, I'm confused. Okay, so yeah, it was burning down part 1 and 2 have the same breakdown, right? You know, it's there's slightly different rhythms or slightly different speeds, but it's still the same breakdown. But Evaporate's still
Tempo.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I think
But it's like dinner, down. You know, it's a little different than the Burning Downs, in my opinion.
but I mean, that's literally the reference in the song. So
Yeah. I thought I had the timestamp on here, but I guess I don't. But other than those sick references, the song has a vocal and guitar feature from Andrew, and
it's heavenly.
what a powerful feature it is. And
Yeah.
I guess my main problem with the song is its purpose. The purpose of this song is so they don't have to play Times New Roman and like We Own the Night and
Wait,
not like
that's really the purpose of it?
Yes.
But one Times New Roman and We Own the Night.
they've actually mentioned it on an interview. But like, when's the last time they played Backwards Pumpkin song?
Yeah.
But I guess
they probably just fit in.
Well, no,
I honestly do not believe they stopped playing We Own the Night though.
No, yeah, no.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
Isn't that their most popular one on Spotify?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it went back to most popular.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That's what they said on an interview with Alternative Press when they talked about.
I mean,
No,
they created a medley, is what you're saying?
Consider this. Consider that all the songs that they're referencing now. In what age, in what world do you think that the modern lineup of Dance Gavin Dance is going to play any, if all of those songs in a set list?
Never again.
All right, they can play Times New Roman and We Own the Night for sure. What else was on there? Zoloff would be deep cut, but wouldn't surprise me. Tree Village could definitely be on there.
Anyways, anymore because
they've played me and Zoloff a few years ago.
And Alex, in fact, the one time I saw Dance Gavin Dance, they played We Own the Night, Tree Village, and Alex English.
Yeah, and it's like they feel like they only use like 3 or 4 Kurt songs, like Tree Village.
I saw them and they didn't play. Like they only played We Own the Night and Times New Roman. They didn't even play Alex English. when I saw them. Like,
Alex English was awesome. That was their encore.
Yeah, I've seen Times New Roman as an encore.
When I
at least
snuck into the venue.
They're not going to play any of those songs. Maybe not even "We Own the Night."
Probably not, though. They'll probably play. They'll play "We Own the Night."
I don't really
just
mind
like
them not playing "We Own the Night" though.
They'll be playing "We Own the Night" as long as Smash Mouth will be playing All Stars. Come on, guys, let's not fool ourselves here.
As long as Radiohead will be playing "Creep."
They don't play Creep.
That's the joke.
They hate Creep. you clever little brat.
That went right over your head.
No, it didn't. How'd it go over my head when they're gonna play the song and Radiohead hates that song and they're never gonna play
it?
But I mean,
what's that band plays Cable Car?
Get
it? Because over your head.
Amberlin.
The Fray. Jesus Christ, guys.
So I do
Evaporate.
find Evaporate. I do find it interesting how they start out super heavy.
The Fray played over my head Cable Car.
Yeah, I already said that.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Way to go, Cash. David, continue.
But yeah, like obviously that heavy intro is the shit, and then but they immediately cut the brakes and allowed Tillian to have like this more slow, section and the chords and everything. They want you to slow down, and it's more dramatic and it seems to be building on something, or wants to build up to something, especially with like the guitar chugging. That's a cool little rhythm to have. The dun 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 dun, like and then they come back with John being heavy and then they come back with John being heavy and all that. There's like a lot of elements they put into this. It's very interesting, I'd say. And then obviously the Andrew feature. I don't know, a lot of weird elements they kind of compile at once.
Nice, Moses.
Yeah, he's prepared. Shoot. Anyway, but
I was born in the dark. You merely adopted it or something. Moses put on his very intricate mask for us in the Skype.
Right.
Shout out Skype. This Microsoft subsidiary has been keeping us running this whole time.
Oh no, but
Just
we don't
kidding. Fuck Skype, but
we don't have video, so our fans at home won't be able to see his amazing.
Maybe one of these days.
One of these days.
One of these days, I'll shave and then I'll get on video.
But okay, so I do see why Evaporate is like kind of seem like, oh yeah, this is like the best song on the album. Like it has everything for people to say that. I get it.
Nostalgia.
But like people say this is like the best ending song, like out of all DGD. What do y'all think on that?
Like I said,
Could be.
for casual fans, sure, that doesn't like they have way better endings that are like written better, that have better vocal melodies, and I'm gonna say no.
Agreed.
See, it's a great thing. It's cool for its purpose, but yeah.
I'm going to play devil's advocate with myself and say that maybe we aren't giving it enough credit because it references all these old songs too. So
see,
who really knows what I'm thinking?
A lot of people like reference that as like like the de facto, like, oh yeah, that makes it the best,
No way,
but like at the same time, I don't know if the outro of the song hits the same way if you don't reference those songs. Like if you don't have the references at the end, like I don't know if it quite hits the same either. It's really weird because it's like they kind of balance nostalgia with like doing something very different.
The melody in the falls short because of the references that they're gonna stick in there. Like it's just like.
Yeah, that is another thing. They have to stick to a melody. Like so if you take out the references, it's just like it's a cool heavy section where they're both vocalists are going back and forth.
But I don't
They
know
have to
if
keep
you
it
can
a
do the
consistent
ending. I don't know how to imagine the ending without the references, though. Much
It would
less the
probably-
song.
It'll probably be better.
I don't know if it would be
No.
better, though. I
I
don't think
wouldn't.
it would be better.
It wouldn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you need this stuff at the end. And it is a really good song, but I just like it's so hard to say how good it is because it kind of relies on these old references.
I think what it's this technique, I forget what it's called, but it's this technique that like bands like Linkin Park use. It makes the songs feel larger than life, but like in this instance it's kind of meta because it references more than just a single album. It references their entire body of work, creating this like epic, grandiose, large like scene for like the way this album closes. And like honestly, like I feel like this is like the perfect like way for like an album to end. And like most people, like it's always been like a running joke for this long that like if like the ending song on the albums that usually happens, like everyone's like, oh, the band's leaving, they're going away forever. You hear
Well,
like the way
I mean, I think
but,
this
like,
one was like kind of
Yeah.
legit worry though.
Yeah,
I
because
could-
like that's I think that's the meta part of it. That's the larger in life. It created that doubt and it felt more certain because it's like, wow, they just referenced all their body of work. Shit, what does
Is
that
this a
mean?
send off?
Tillian had to reassure everyone on Twitter that they weren't leaving. I'm not leaving.
The real reason is, hey, now we don't have to play Times New Roman or Alex English.
Man, you sound so
Nah.
butthurt about that.
And
Yeah.
for you guys,
Well,
for you
I
guys-
am kind of butthurt about that, realizing that.
for you guys requesting a deep cut, here's surprise. I'm from Cuba for 2 seconds. I'm
Yeah,
surprised
that
you
is a
guys
deep
haven't
deep
heard
cut.
that interview.
I mean, I've
That's an
heard that, like, isn't it like an old press or some shit like that? But I've heard that interview. Like, I'm not like if they play Evaporate and hit all those songs and make time for a different deep cut that I'd much rather hear, like Powder to the People or Turn Off the Lights Part 2 or shit, Open Your
They
Eyes
said
with
they're not gonna
More.
play.
Like, yeah, other shit they won't play. Like, I would be much more happier if they were able to get all those other singles out of
Ryan,
Hey,
what
They're
you
making
gotta
room
do is
for
you gotta
artificial-
scrounge up $1 million and then pay them to play for your wedding.
yeah, play through every album.
In fact,
They did that to make room for more artificial selection songs on the set.
Yes, I want to hear Gospel Burnout, Hair Song. I want to hear Flash. I need time for my favorite songs off
Wow.
Artificial Selection. I need to hear. I need to hear Shelf Life like constantly. You know, like I love Shelf Life. I need it.
Actually, I would actually love to hear Shelf Life live.
Me too. Like 100%.
with or
Like
without Kurt.
No,
Without-
with Kurt.
with
Okay.
Kurt.
Oh,
Like, what's the
say
point?
that.
Well, I mean, like,
If they got somebody else, maybe.
yeah,
Like
it's
if-
like,
what,
if,
Andrew
they
got
don't, if
Doc-
they don't have Kurt, are you still down to listen to it?
If they had
That's the question.
Have
they had,
Andrew
like,
sing
no.
Kurt's part.
if
I
they
don't
had
think they
Donovan,
Without Kurt.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but like, I'm just
Maybe if
wondering.
they did an
what you think.
artificial selection tour without a Kurt band, then they probably would. But they would just get Andrew to do it, which
That would be dope.
that
which
would
they
Yeah.
did.
I would actually probably like the song more. Hot take. I don't care.
They did that. They
Actually,
did
yeah, I
they-
think I would too.
they do that.
honestly.
I've never seen them do it live, or
They did like not that exactly, but at Swanfest last year they played Uneasy Hearts Weigh the Most, and Kurt Travis was at that show, and they didn't sing the song with Kurt Travis.
Wow,
If that ain't shade,
shade alert.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to
Maybe
be
Kurt was like,
it is.
I don't feel like it.
maybe he
Hey,
went
so-
home early.
Back to Evaporate.
Yeah, Evaporate. What about
You
it?
know what would make that outro amazing?
You saying
What?
it wasn't?
No,
Yeah, brother.
Oh
if
wait,
they heard Johnny and Kurt singing their parts.
Yeah, that would be
cool.
epic.
Yeah,
That would be epic, and I would probably
and Will screaming.
yeah, I would probably
Dude.
think differently about the song.
Dude, that's what is missing. Will screaming and John and Kurt singing their actual parts. They had
So,
Kurt. Why didn't they have him
Since
sing?
now that I understand the purpose of the song, when they reference Alex English at the end, it's like that's kind of like that's pretty tongue in cheek actually, because you got
Oh.
what you paid for.
And yeah. Hey, there you go. You got those old songs, those old references.
So yeah, if you
Yeah, we
pirated the
played these
album,
songs.
I never thought of it like that. That's funny.
But I think the shining star of that song is Andrew for sure. I like his part
Yeah,
a lot.
that's.
yeah, his part, the drums, the bass, the guitar. I feel like everybody comes together and brings this album to a close very strongly.
I will say when Tillian hits that evaporate or whatever, that sounds really the evaporate before they go into the outro.
If I could say, I love any song that references cellophane because it reminds me of Mr. Cellophane from Chicago.
Right.
Nah, I gotta get that one.
You didn't get that one?
It's
So
Saran
that-
wrap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew that, but Mr. Cellophane, nah.
That's John C. Riley. He was in the movie Chicago, which is totally a
It's
chick
play,
flick.
right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a play too. Totally, yeah.
Haven't seen
but, it's good. Mr. Cellophane at least is good. That's a great song.
Because it's John C. Riley. Yeah, John
Yes.
C. Riley is usually
John
pretty
C.
solid.
Riley is a beast, bro.
Yeah, maybe
But,
he'll be the next singer, Dance Gavin Dance.
That would be fucking amazing.
Heavy Lolo played a show like completely naked, but they were like wrapped in Saran wrap, like their private parts.
That's kind of
Moses-
gross. I mean,
and
not
Mo-
I mean not the naked part, but like wrapping your private parts in
Moses, were you front row?
Saran wrap.
Moses, were you up front?
I wasn't even there, but I heard about it, and they had a song called Saran Wrap Love Affair.
I'm just like imagining like sweat pulling up and nah, can't do it.
Well, no, the song's not escaping; it's staying in the Saran wrap, right?
Well, I know it's pulling up in it.
But
shout out, Heavy Lolo.
Yes.
Welcome back. So,
They need to come back. And, like, did they drop a new thing, or they've just been re-releasing their albums?
yeah, they're gonna re-release Courtside on vinyl, but I think they've been working with Sam Pura in the studio.
Damn, that's a big name.
Well, Sam Pura used to be in the band. Shout out Sam Pura, great producer. He's
100%.
He's produced all the Story So Far albums. He kind of gets a bad rap because he's like super passionate, but like, who would you rather have, like, you know, produce an album besides somebody who cares that much that he's, I don't know, gets in like yelling matches and is pretty headstrong about, you know, what you should do. He's so good for the bass player of trap. So
yeah, that's something. So does anybody else have anything to say on Evaporate before we wrap this up?
I do.
I guess like all right, I got some notes.
Go for it.
So yeah, it's like we can all agree that there's a lot of good stuff, a lot of good elements in this track that make it what it is. But I think Moses and I would agree that it may not be the most cohesive and not the most put together. Personally, for me at the very least, I don't want to speak for him, but and that's why I'd say like I can't say it's like my favorite ending song for what it is. Yeah, it is a pretty damn good ending, but for as of a favorite, I'd say like Turn Off the Lights Part 2, stuff like that would probably be one of my favorites, or Man of the Year. Man, like those two are probably my candidates for like the best ending DGD song.
Purple Rain.
Purple Rain, On the Run, Care, Parody.
Those aren't ending songs, but
songs,
ending closers.
Ending.
Those are ending to a song.
No, I meant close. Yeah, sorry, I should have said closer.
Okay, so closer, yeah, Purple Rain all the way.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, like I said, the last section is like my favorite ending to a DGD song, but yeah, like Man of the Year and Turn Off the Lights Part 2 are like the best. Honestly, they're like top tier songs in general, I'd say, in their discography.
I wish I could like Man of the Year.
Dance Gavin Dance kind of went through like a 4-album stretch where they just ended their albums really well. Like you got People You Know, Powder to the People, Purple Rain, Back to the Future Part 2, and then, fuck the next 2 albums, and then Evaporate.
Worse
I think
ending. Like it should have been On the Run. Why wasn't it On the Run? On the Run should have been the closing track.
What was What was the one they introduced? IG.
Wait.
It was.
It was like Lost or Legend.
Yeah, it was
I don't-
Lost.
Legend.
I
or
kind of get, but like it kind of works, but like I don't know.
I can 100% agree with that.
So
Um,
I'd really like Lost, but it's not that good of a closer, I'd say. Or not the strongest, I'd say.
It should have been
Or like-
on the run. Has that like beautiful, like melody at the end.
Yeah, that's a great closer.
You know,
There it
John.
is.
I don't know. He's like scatting, like scream scatting.
Yeah, nailed it, bro. Yeah, cover it, please.
we're just turning into Beavis and Butthead, right?
Yeah, I mean, this whole podcast was
we just make fun of the songs now.
This was pretty much like the wackiest shit we've ever done, and I love
pretty
it.
peanut-esque.
Um,
Well, who else? You had notes, Cash?
all right. So I don't know if y'all remember 2 weeks ago when we did the
I don't even remember.
first part of this, but I was talking about the changing chord progression between like lines, and they do in this song again, which they do it throughout the album.
What parts?
They change the chord progression between each line of. One sec. They change the chord progression between each line of the song, and
On Evaporated?
the other thing on Evaporate, and like I said, I love it when Tillian finally comes in. That sounds really good. One thing I've had, when I wrote these notes like 2 weeks ago, I put down that I thought maybe this song might work better on Afterburner.
Really?
Because I feel like it is kind of a departure from the album the way it sounds. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
The verse sections are very, very they're different from anything else, I'd say. I mean, actually, never mind, because they have chiller moments like, on Gospel Burnout, Count Basie, the Hummer, like that those vibes kind of come back with the verse on Evaporate. But like those moments are most standout on the album, I'd say. I don't know.
Yeah.
The most diverse for DG.
Anything else y'all got to say, or?
I think
I like it. I like Evaporate. So I don't know what these guys are smoking.
I mean, I like
Correct.
Evaporate.
I like it too.
The ending's overrated.
I
But
think
I love Evaporate.
I think they're smoking some shit that evaporates.
That's-
You know what I'm saying,
That's
right?
why he's got that gas mask on.
Right. But nah,
Um,
I'd agree. It's good, but overrated.
so we're good on Evaporate.
Yes.
All right. So I gotta go eat dinner. So
Oh shit, we're not gonna do the other shit.
do y'all wanna? When can y'all do that?
I mean, to be honest, we can go through it real quick, like the three of us, and then you can add yours in if you want.
I mean, that
Yeah.
or we back and do it. Like
That
on
works. And
if-
if we can jump on, I can jump on yours whenever you want to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, if you want someone to bounce off of when you do it, Cash, I can jump on too.
I don't know.
I mean,
Like if we're just like doing what music have you been listening to thing? I mean,
Because I'd rather.
yeah,
do
if
it
y'all
that
want
way.
to, y'all can do it. I mean, I guess, but I kind of want to bounce off people though for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like,
100%.
it's almost like if we're gonna
you
end up doing it at a different time, anyways, it's like almost like.
It would just go faster doing it this way. Because then when you're ready to do it, we just have to do what
All
you've
right.
been.
Because we go off on tangents, and we'd be here for another 3 hours.
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's like I wouldn't
Um,
mind recording it like all of us at a separate time, like just like a 30-minute to an hour thing at max,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really need to tighten up the recording thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
like I don't know why we did 8 songs today, but
shit
Yeah,
happens.
we did it, man. We got through the rest of the album.
we did. But like,
They're polarizing album.
we might
was
need to
good.
split. I think this is like 2 hours, so we might need to split it up. Honestly,
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see it when what can be edited out. I mean, I do
It can be edited out.
on a long tangent about Rocky or Rudy.
That's so good. It's so good. It's so good. But
I
if you
mean, I
guys,
might just.
but Cash, go ahead. Like I know, like, dude, I was hungry. I ate in the middle of this podcast, so I understand.
I ate before, so.
I usually bring a snack, yeah, or a snack before.
No, I mean I'm meeting with people, so that's the thing. So.
Okay.
So I mean, I guess y'all do what y'all do y'all's thing, and
Let us know
we'll
if
think
you're
about
ready.
time to
All right.
do my stuff. All right. See
You
y'all
wanna-
later.
And this part, or I guess if you can add it post or whatever.
What, this part?
To
Yeah, I take it
wrap
out.
up
Yeah.
the album,
The what?
just to wrap up the album.
Oh, the album wrap up. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about our recent listens now. Good.
Sure.
All right.
Authentic.
Later.
Peace out, man. Enjoy dinner.
Yeah, dude.
I will. Smells good.
All right.
Hey, so before we start talking about what we've been listening to, from first to last, I don't know, man. They've been teasing something or trolling us on Spotify. Ryan,
Yeah.
what do you think that's all that's about? Because
Uh-huh.
I think I saw in an article, I don't know, saying that, like, we're probably not likely to get any new from first to last music until like Sonny's, like not busy acrylic
Yeah.
stuff.
Based on everything I've read and seen, like, I can remember a time when the band used to say, like, oh, we would never get back with Sonny. And I can remember a time when they said, oh, we tried to hit up Sonny and he didn't hit us back up to be featured on Dead Trees. And then all of a sudden they had like an extra $40,000 to make an album. And then all of a sudden Sonny came back like right after that. And Sonny himself said in an interview that he had like a bitter relationship when he left from first to last, but they're still there. I think from first to last is kind of like masters in forms of misdirection and like manipulating things, but at the same time, like Sonny is like probably the most busy person on the planet in forms of DJs, and like I mean that much is evident. We've only gotten 2 songs, but he was Matt Good was on a podcast and he said they had 2 unfinished songs and they're just not fully shaped or formed, and that's why they haven't released anything. Sonny lives in Greenland apparently, and I mean with quarantine and everything, you'd think with all this extra time with nothing happening that he'd have time to record or mix or something. So it just seems like odd,
Think of who they're recording with. Who produced these newer from first to last songs?
I imagine Matt Good.
No, John Feldman. They were in the studio with him, and
When?
as you know, he's very hands-on.
Yeah.
Like almost a perfectionist. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I know that when Blink-182 got with Matt Skiba, they basically had like a whole album written, and they came to John Feldman. And he's like, oh, this is what we got. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, we're going to throw all of these in the trash and write shit that sounds like 5 Seconds of Summer. So, maybe, it's that kind of vibe. Like,
I mean, it's also not unheard of that once John Feldman has his hands in shit, your stuff can be sitting on a shelf for a long time, because Craig Owens has I believe at least an EP's worth of songs recorded with John Feldman, and they used to be online. They used to be leaked online, but nowadays I can't find those things. Like there's this song called Boys Let's Raise Our Glasses that was like amazing, but it's gone. I can't find it. It was produced by John Feldman.
I'm not a big John Feldman fan, but yeah, dude, I would love, like, I don't know what they're doing with their Spotify, especially if they've kind of been alluding to like we're most likely not gonna get any new from first to last, and there will be no new from first to last without Sonny.
Do you think it's kind of like petty squabbling, like kind of like shade, like because they're like sitting around with their hands in their pockets and Sonny's too busy for them?
I mean, Matt Good he's producing, so I'm sure he's making some. Like I really don't know what Derek does besides The Color of Violence, and any other bands or whatnot. But I don't know,
I think he's a
man. What's up?
I think he's a car salesman.
Yeah. All I know is that, dude, we need new from first to last, and like, Make War and Surrender. They were great songs, but I want to hear something a little like heavier. Give me some stuff like from Dear Diary if you can. But either way, like
even heroin kind of stuff in 2020 would be like interesting.
Heroin with like with a better quality. Hell yeah! Like let's get some of that going. I just want to hear Sonny sing more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love hearing him sample his voice and like turn it up to sound like a chipmunk on Skrillex songs. But yeah, I definitely like hearing him sing.
I think he's only done that in like a couple of songs. I think Summit is one of them, and there's or was it Summit or All I Ask? One of those two songs.
All I Ask of You had Penny on it, and I mean, in Equinox First of the Year, his vocals are the vocal sample on that song, and like in Scary Monsters and Sprites, like My Name is Skrillex, that's his vocal sample just sped up, and like he pops up like.
I mean, like an actual melody. Like he has like one that has kind of like a chopped up melody in the intro, and it might be Summit with Ellie Goulding.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I wish his solo stuff, like his Bells EP, like that had like a taste of dubstep on it, but it still had him singing. I wish that shit blew up, but Skrillex blew up. Like everyone wanted to hear him make him dubstep. They didn't want to hear him sing, and like it sucks 100%. Like I wish he was appreciated for his vocal talent as much as his production skills, but it is what it is.
The crazy thing is he didn't just make dubstep. He like took it to a whole new level. Like dubstep wasn't like the stuff that was out like prior to Skrillex EP, the Nice Sprites and whatever it's called. Like it was meh. Then he like made it like, I don't know, more fast paced, more like epic. Like he totally deserved to like blow up, and
yeah, everything he's done, like dude's like the same. He's like 11 months older than me, and like everything he's done, like 100%, he's worked hard for, he's strived for, and he deserves it 100%. Especially considering like his background, like coming just from like a guitarist, vocalist perspective. Like you would never imagine that like some dude in a random band called From First to Last would go on to be one of the largest dubstep DJs, and like he made it commercially successful. Like people like Deadmau5 and stuff like that, but if someone says dubstep, someone's gonna be like, oh, like Skrillex?
You know what? He actually tried out to just be the guitarist, because I think Matt, like after the original vocalist left, I think Matt was gonna step down from guitar and be the actual vocalist, and then they heard
Sonny singing Mars Volta.
You should be the singer.
Yeah, he was singing that one song by the Mars Volta, the Ineratic ESP, and they just heard like they heard him in the studio singing that. You want to hear a fun fact about Dear Diary?
Sure.
Travis didn't play any guitars on the album.
Really?
He broke both of his arms before they recorded, and he only added vocals. Like he wrote his riffs, like all the riffs are written by him, but Matt had to play them because Travis broke both of his arms.
Okay.
So his only contribution on the album itself was just vocals.
Well, I guess I don't know. I guess this rant was about like, are they teasing new music?
I wish.
It would be great.
I hope. David, do you like From First to Last, David?
I haven't tried them, to be honest.
What the fuck?
And you said they're more pop punk.
Like I don't no, they're like traditional post-hardcore screamo. Like they're like innovators. Like
You're
100%.
era, like post-hardcore, the good shit, man.
Like the used kind of post-hardcore, like when used was post-hardcore.
Front to last.
From first to last.
We'll put you on game.
Yeah, dude. Like we weren't like to be honest. Like if I was to say I was a stan for something, like I love DGD, and this better not make it into the podcast, Cash. But I'm a massive, way bigger fan of From First to Last.
Ooh, dang.
I hate to say it. Like I haven't seen From First to Last live as much. I haven't. I've met Skrillex before. I met him when he was Sonny Moore doing his solo shit. I've tried to meet the other band members. They're like hard as fuck to meet because they're very elusive and they're very antisocial and they don't like meeting people. But yeah, they're easily hands down like every album I love front to back. Even the Aesthetic EP, which is kind of rough.
Yeah, it had some good tracks. My heart.
Oh yeah. Yes, that song is fucking dope.
But dude, this band, like, dude, they totally like blew up and kind of changed like post-hardcore, like to sound like, I don't know, like almost more tongue in cheek. Nobody was really doing like, I don't know, like lyrics like they were doing.
Yeah, they were being like condescending and like sarcastic and like witty and like just kind of like they had that like hipster mentality like before it was cool in music, like before everybody was throwing shade in lyrics and stuff like that.
Like breaking that fourth wall too, like I don't know, there was just something very like epic about them that like, they're heavy and they're singing, but they're doing something so different, and I don't know, they had like so much like kinetic energy that like, I don't know, pumped through that first like the Dear Diary album. Like shit, man, it was dope, and it made me excited for the genre and them. Like I remember I think Travis Richter was like probably the first person in the scene to have that like half hair, like half
you're talking about the scene mullet.
Well, it wasn't like a fashion mullet. It was like almost like an overgrown mohawk comb to the side.
With the side shape, yeah.
Yeah, I remember after seeing Travis with that, a bunch of kids started doing that.
They were definitely into like the fashion statement. Like they didn't give a shit if you called them emo. Like they didn't get, like most bands back in the day would be like, oh, you're emo, and then they get all defensive like My Chemical Romance. But like From First to Last didn't give a shit. They're like, sure, whatever, that's cool.
They were trendsetters.
Really, they did? They got offended?
Like My Chemical Romance, yeah. They used to hate being called an emo band. They didn't like, they used the post-hardcore scene to get where they were, but they didn't want to be part of it. They wanted to be their own thing. And I respect that. Like that's totally cool and fine. But like From First to Last understood their genre, their scene, and I think that's why people are so upset when Sonny left, because they had such a connection to the scene. Which is kind of weird because, like, if you think Dance Gavin Dance fans are bad, From First to Last fans are pretty bad because, like, there's just people that didn't give Matt Good, Spencer, like, the people that took over the vocal duties for that band, they didn't give them the chance like they gave Kurt or Tillian. Like, they, like, turned against them, and it was, like, really sad to see.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, there's always some backlash. Like, even, I saw old comments, like, calling out Kurt and Tillian, being like, oh, I want the old guy back,
Yeah.
It really goes to like show how big Sonny was. Like I love Matt, and like the songs that they did with Matt singing were great, and I like them more than the other guy from Periphery.
Spencer Sotelo.
Whatever his name is. But like, the stuff, like, I don't know, Sonny was like, he was like larger than life, man. Like the stuff that he was doing vocally, just like hard, like, big shoes to fill. And
which is hilarious because he's only 5'4".
Yeah, 5'4". He looks like a little like treasure trove.
He's pocket sized, bro. You could fit him in your palm of your hand. Like, he was tiny. But if you look up old videos, the dude was crazy. He was all climbing up on like speakers and he was climbing poles and jumping off shit.
Yeah, like the
Before,
like the rafters of the
yeah.
stage.
Before like Craig Mabbitt was doing it every other weekend at Warped Tour, like Sonny was doing it at a Smart Punk tent like in 2004.
Yep. I
Yep.
remember seeing them at that tent.
Dude, that's some old stuff right there.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What is that song from that? There's a song from a video game. It doesn't have a singer on it.
Oh, you're talking about is that Red Faction or
yeah, something. Yeah, I do like that song a lot.
That song's
and it's
dope.
Like kind
dude.
of it's kind of a weird one.
It's like a chuggy marchy song. It's got like the samples of like dudes like stepping. That shit's cool.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
I think it's Red. Song. I think it's Red Faction. I want to say.
Red Alert too.
Red Alert. There you go.
Or
yeah.
3.
It's oddly, it's like one of their top songs, like on their page. It's crazy. That video game must have been
really cool though.
Yeah, 100%.
I will say, like Surrender, when that came out, like I guess was that 2 summers ago. That was awesome because it.
Yeah, it was a fun
song. Yeah, it was a good song, but at the time, like everyone was into. I think it was. I think there was like one Drake song that was really big or something, or like or it was like Cardi B or something, and like that came out and like it like gave us something to listen to instead of like having to deal with that shit. So that was my view of it.
I really liked it when it came out, and I kind of like the concept behind because you make war and then you surrender. It was kind of just like
I never thought about that, but
it's like a sequel because like the first song, Make War, is about getting in a fight with your loved one, and then in Surrender it's about making up with your loved one,
about like almost drinking the night away and
just making up.
You know,
which I really liked Make War, except Sonny's like lyrical content maybe is a little like, I don't know, maybe
I kind of agree with that.
Like the tongue in cheek of what Dear Diary was, but more up to date, or maybe I don't know. Maybe he's just kind of lost touch on writing lyrics. But
are you cockstrong, bro?
but
it's cringy. It's cringy. I'll give you that. It's cringy as fuck. But
that's hard.
You're right.
It's hard in the song.
But I will say, like, that part's cringy. But the fact that he's later on in the song, he's like, I don't dig up the living corpses of seen whore kids. I just court them. I was like, okay, fuck that, dude. That's a good ass line. Like, that's just good wordplay. I was like, he didn't lose it. He just likes being cringy. That's all.
Yeah.
And then Surrender was just a fun song.
Yeah.
For sure. I think after the hype died down, it wasn't as...
I mean, I still like it, but I agree. Like, everyone kind of fell off of it when the hype died down.
I think what it is it wasn't enough to supply the 2-year wait that Make War left us with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked up from first to last on Spotify to figure out the Red Alert thing. And it's not called Telemarch 1, but it's Skeletor is their profile picture on there.
That's one, like, if you go and look down at, like, that's what started this whole conversation. If you go
Skeletor?
Yeah, Skeletor, and if you go down and look at their About Me, like, you see, like that's why me and Moses have started talking about it, because it seems like they're trolling their fan base.
Did you guys watch He-Man? I know you guys are older.
Yeah, I liked He-Man. He-Man's dope.
What the fuck is up with He-Man? What the fuck was happening in that show? I don't get
it. Memes, yeah. What happened?
Super over masculine, like, kid show.
Yeah, I didn't seem that masculine.
It was super masculine, bro. Big buff guys with arms.
What about She-Ra? What was happening in that?
Yeah, I was actually about to start that.
That's a super feminine show for super females.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like the 80s cartoons weren't that great.
They were, budget-wise, yeah, you're 100% right. But I think the thing with shows like that, it kind of led to Ninja Turtles. It was shows centered around selling action figures, so it didn't really matter the show. They were more interested in putting toys in your hands.
Did you guys watch Smurfs?
Smurfs was dope.
Okay. I thought of the live action version. See,
live action version.
Sad.
All right. So speaking of from first to last, Travis Richter is starting a new super group called If I Die First, and I don't know. The interesting part about this super group is that it's not a bunch of different people from the post-hardcore scene. It's just Travis, who's in From First to Last, the Human Abstract, and he also did Color of Violence, and he's teaming up with these two SoundCloud emo rappers named Zubin and Lil Lotus, who I'm a pretty big fan of. The group also features Nedarb, who is like the producer known for kind of starting this like emo SoundCloud scene. Like he did a lot of beats for both Zubin and Lotus, as well as Lil Peep and other artists within that genre. The band's rhythm section is made up of Ghostmane's bass player and drummer. Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to see what this band is going to sound like, because Travis can pull off some heavy riffs, and Ghostmane's live band actually goes really hard. I know the drummer is like in a bunch of hardcore bands. Downpresser is one of them. So yeah, and then they have the two clean vocalists. So I'm like really interested into to kind of see what musical direction they go to. I know they're dropping an EP like next month or something, right, Ryan?
Yeah, they're releasing a six song EP next month. They didn't give an exact date, but yeah, 100% next month.
Yeah. Either way, I'm kind of looking forward to checking that out. Other than that, I've been jamming the new Marionette single called "Golden Without You." They were our guest last week, and great guys.
Shout out Marionette.
Yeah, the song's a
Yeah.
bop.
I did
what
check it
have I
out.
been listening to?
To be honest.
You guys waiting for me?
I don't know. David said something.
No,
Oh, he said he'd check it out.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
definitely check it out. And our first guest, Anna Moria, they actually got some little projects going on. Like I was listening to Melt Mars, which is made up of Darnell, their guitar player, and Juan, the drummer of Anna Moria, with I don't know some other people, but the band's actually pretty good. It's more of like a chill wave indie vibe. Like if you're a fan of Washed Out, Mac DeMarco, or Boy Pablo, definitely check them out. Shout out Melt Mars. And speaking of Anna Moria, there's this prog math rock guitar player named Matthew Baum. I don't really know much about him. He's not from a like well-known band or anything, but he's teaming up with Anna Moria's vocalist Joey, and they're putting out like a project together. They have 2 songs on Spotify right now, and they're actually really, really good. So shout out them. Other than that, I don't know. I've been listening to Kurt Travis's "Everything Is Beautiful." It's my favorite release from Kurt Travis and any of the projects he's been in.
Same here.
Yeah, Joseph did the drumming, and Zach Guerin did a lot of the guitar playing in that album.
Oh yeah, it's very obvious. It sounds tinged all over it.
Yeah, I've been listening to this like electro pop artist and producer named Elohim. She's from LA, and I don't know. She dropped a new single on Friday named Vacuum, and it's a good kind of chill, dreamy summer vibe. She makes a lot of cool, vibey music like that. Neon Trees dropped 2 new songs, and I don't remember much about that band except they had like a big single named Animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of fell off the radar, but at least from my radar. But they have a new song called "New Best Friend," and it's good. Other than that, there's this like singer songwriter named Grandson from Canada, and I don't know anything about him at all, except he's signed to Fueled by Ramen, and he's doing like this, I don't know, really cool project to like, I don't know if it's like to raise awareness about voting or to like get people to vote, but the project is called Text Voter XX to 40649, and basically like every month leading to the election he releases like an acoustic collaboration with a different artist, and along with that song like he releases a podcast episode that he does with the person he collaborated with, and they talk about like social issues, and then they end it with a live performance of the song that they recorded, which I don't know, that's kind of cool. I haven't uh seen anything like that from an artist. So shout out Grandson, check him out. David, what you got?
Oh shoot. I got I was looking into Televangelist. They got a lot of
Nice.
stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I really dug into the list this time around. Like this stuff like The Bled, Scale the Summit. I will say is, they're another like swan core, post-hardcore kind of math rock thing going on. A couple songs give me Chan vibes, especially with like the chords and the rhythm they'd use. I'd recommend Scale the Summit. Good stuff there. Okay, don't roast me for this one, but I was feeling a little nostalgic, and I went back and listened to High School Musical 2. See?
Oh.
Yeah. Y'all ever watch that back in the day?
No.
Push
No.
it to the limit,
Hey,
because we're in it. That's one though.
yeah,
That's out of my age group.
yeah.
Same. I think it'd be a little weird if I saw that, but
That was just barely made it in that one.
yeah, if Dance Gam and Dance can I don't know, would cover any of the songs from High School Musical, which one would it be?
Oh my god.
Which one should they do? Because they love covering songs so much.
Bet on it.
Let's imagine Tillian doing that.
Oh man, we're not to have High School Musical stuff on our playlist this week.
A nice
Oh,
little
God.
edgy for Tillian, dude.
I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah, no, I expected a little out of your age group. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's literally for like kids in high school or teens. You know what I mean? So that's fair. A lot of System of a Down. I'm trying to check out their other albums. I was really into the first one, and now I'm trying to branch out to like their second, third, and so forth. What is it? No, there's a lot of stuff. I had a list.
First album. I don't even know the name of the first album. Like Toxicity was like their second album, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Oh shoot, you're right. Actually, yeah. Basically, I'm just like I stuck on Toxicity, and now I'm trying to branch out and find other stuff. Because when I looked at the one right after Toxicity, I was like, oh shoot, there's a lot of good stuff. That they're not letting up. They're still holding on to that sound and bringing a new light to it.
Yeah, I was never a big fan, but I really liked Psycho and
Oh yeah.
I forget Sugar. Yeah, they had a song called
Sugar.
That was cool too. I mean, they had some bops for sure, but it was never my thing.
Shoot, they have a whole song they're literally talking about pizza pies and shit like that. But it's talking about our advertisement, how the government's controlling us with advertisement, that type deal. But no, yeah, a lot of good stuff. Shoot, I'd recommend them. Good listen. And shoot, I know I told you all about them, but Black Mill, I listened to them more this week, especially with friends and stuff like that. What is it? They're more in the dubstep kind of arena, except obviously it's more chill. That's how it gets its name, Chill Step.
Yeah, for sure. Black Mill's good shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Good stuff to slow down on. Yeah, that's like the majority. That's just some of my picks. Shoot, who else?
Ryan, what you got?
I've been listening to there's this band called Swing Away, and they're real low level, local level kind of band. They haven't had a release since like 2019, but they have this really good song called "Alone Again" that I've had on repeat, and it's just really good. Like I enjoy the vibe they got. It's very post-hardcore-y. It's got like more like a lot like Birds vibes than say like Dance Gavin Dance, and even that is a stretch. If I could make it any like correlation, but other than that, I've been checking out that new John Connor album. It's really good. I really like it. I enjoy it. It's got a Craig Owens feature, so why wouldn't I like it? And I've been listening to Hologram Empire. They got a song called Gypsy that I really enjoy. But other than that, I can't really say too much. I mean, I was listening to the Back to the Future soundtrack because sometimes I'll be playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and I got a DeLorean, and I'll just fly around listening to that. And
wait, what's on the Back to the Future soundtrack?
The Power of Love's on there by Huey Lewis and the News.
Newfound for that.
Yeah, that's a good cover actually. Huey Lewis is all over that soundtrack. You got Mr. Sandman, Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry.
Yeah, I was thinking Johnny Be Good, and then they kind of did something like Van Halen, but not really.
Yeah, they had Van Halen record it, but they couldn't use his name, and they couldn't use anything of the sort because copyrights and stuff like that. It's kind of like Beat It by Michael Jackson. Like they couldn't say Van Halen was featured on it, but he was. But
Exactly.
But I mean, Alan Silverstein, I think that's how you say his name, Silverstream. He did the score for that album, and most people would probably know him nowadays as the guy who made the Avengers theme song. So
they do sound kind of similar now that I think about it. Didn't know that.
It's got that grandiose nature to it.
But it's like,
what's up?
The Avengers have a theme song? I've never noticed.
Like when the movie starts or when the Avengers assemble, you hear that like grand like trumpet sounding song that's like, I'm not going to sing it because I don't recall it off the top of my head.
Yeah,
but if you
it's hard to think about it, but it is a thing.
Like if you watch the credits,
assemble.
I think
it's a thing for sure. But
it's definitely a song. Like it's in the beginning of every single Avengers movie.
I think about it though, like Back to the Future and the Avengers, like the way they sound, like they're very like the main parts are really similar actually. Like they have like this they start with a leading tone and go into like the main thing. Yeah. But
I mean that's kind of like if you think about it, I mean the John Williams, like all his shit is just bum 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 bum, like just the variations of that shit. So I mean there's definitely like there's only so much you can do with classical music that's trying to sound epic and like a big summertime blockbuster song.
Yeah, I suppose. And then Andrew Lloyd Webber stole everything, so.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera can suck it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for me, Cash.
All right, so I guess the big thing I did this week was I kind of wanted to go back and do a re-listen of like some of the newer Bring Me the Horizon stuff because I've been kind of thinking about it lately, and like compare it to some of their older stuff. And I don't know. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it.
Oh, do tell.
I guess on the one hand, I'm like, well, they've been around long enough and they've been successful enough that I kind of feel like they should be able to do whatever they want. And I do think some of it is good, even though I don't necessarily think it sounds as like Ammo, like their last album. Like I thought, like I don't think it was necessarily sounded totally inspired the whole time, but also like I don't think it was quite. I don't know if I'd say it was terrible. Well, I mean, I thought there were good songs on it, but then there was also times where like there'd be a song and I listened to it and be like, "Wow, this is really catchy." But then I think about it for a second and be like, "Wow, maybe this isn't actually good."
Wait, what'd you call that album? What'd you call that album?
Was it Ammo? Wasn't that the last album?
Mi Amo.
No.
Yeah.
Is it Miyamo?
Miyamo.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Let me check. All right.
I'm guessing that's them trying to speak Spanish. I don't know if it's me, Ammo.
Yeah. It's cool you mentioned,
No, it's just AMO. Is what is
Yeah, that isn't
on
that Amo,
Spotify.
Miyamo?
Amo? I mean,
Isn't
I
that
guess
Miyamo?
so. I just thought it was. Oh, I guess it's not ammo. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, ammo.
Like my name.
I'm dumb, obviously, but
No, Amo is I love. in Spanish.
yeah. But I said ammo, like you load guns or whatever. But that's two M's. Now that I think about it, so
Mi amor.
I thought you
Amo.
were just trying to pronounce like Amo like a white person.
No, I said ammo because I thought I was thinking like ammo like for a gun.
Yeah, like ammunition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I guess
Ammo.
it's ammo, which surprising from an English band, but
I never noticed that it was actually titled Amo.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that sort of like a few days ago when I was listening to it.
Huh.
What else?
Does heavy metal actually sound like heavy metal?
Does heavy metal actually sound like heavy metal?
That track on the newer album?
I don't think so, actually, now that I think about it. But I mean, it wasn't notable enough for me to remember how it sounded. But I guess the thing is like, I kind of thought about it as like they kind of, I think That's the Spirit kind of put them in a weird position where like it was successful as like a poppy album, so they kind of wanted to do it again, but they also realized they got so much hate from it that they didn't go all in on it on Ammo.
Yeah, wow, interesting. A lot of their top songs are from That's the Spirit on Apple at least. Interesting.
Which, I mean,
like their most
I thought That's the Spirit was cool. It's not my favorite, but I thought it was fine.
I was not a fan.
Which I think is totally understandable not to be a fan either, too, though.
Wasn't Drown? Is it Drown that or Throne? Throne is a
Throne and Drown were both on That's the Spirit.
No, I know, but Throne was a straight up like Linkin Park like ripoff.
Yeah.
Like it. What's
like
that
late
song?
Linkin Park though.
I won't be ignored.
Yeah,
but I think it was a little more than just that though. Like there was more to it. I like Throne a lot actually, and I like Drown and Throne a lot. But I kind of do see that connection for sure.
It was like the melody.
What?
It was the exact same melody.
Yeah, I think you were kind of right about that. I mean, like I knew the connection, but like I didn't really think about it like that. Like I always thought like they had like a similar sound on that album at least. The other big thing was, do y'all know Out Here Brothers?
No.
Out Here Brothers?
Yeah.
No.
Or so they're pretty weird. It was like this. I discovered them watching a British reality television show, which I'm not gonna get into but there is one that I really like. Anyways, it's this house and like rap group from like Chicago from like the late 80s, and so it was kind of like cool because it's like, you know, rapping. It's like rap music and like early rap music and early house music together, but it also, if you think about it, it just basically ends up being like LMFAO like 30 years earlier too. So, and so they had one hit and or like one or two hits, and they were only big in England, but like they're from Chicago, and so it's yeah. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say like they're like an interesting listen, I guess, but not necessarily anything you need to listen to. But it was like, this is weird. You know what I mean? Just a weird discovery. And then after that, I guess the Harm's Way memes kind of broke me, and so I listened to them. And then I also found that the performance they had that the meme came from on YouTube, so I watched a little bit of that. And then besides that, it was just From Autumn's to Ashes, Thursday, Not a Surf, Skylight Drive and Your Demise. So that's it for me.
All Is Love, great song by Not a Surf.
Dude, I love Not. Well, I liked Not a Surf a lot when I was in high school, and
that's the only really song I know. But I love that song, and like I've checked.
There's a few songs I really like by them.
Yeah, I've listened to that whole album. I know, like for sure. But like that's definitely the one that stuck, and I don't know their biggest single. Like,
I mean, I guess the thing about Not a Surf is like I liked them a lot in high school, or like a few of their songs, and then I haven't really listened to them at all. And so this is like the first time I like gave them a listen in a while. So
didn't they blow up because of the OC soundtrack, or am I wrong? Were they on that show?
I wouldn't be surprised if they were.
Who else?
We were talking about that earlier, right? Did we talk about that on the show, the OC, or was that not on it?
I think we did talk about it on the show, right?
I don't know if it made it
on the show before. Yeah,
I think, or did we talk about it before we recorded?
We've mentioned. I think we mentioned it with California by Phantom Planet.
No. You were talking about because you listened to the Shins or the Sounds?
No, it was because of a tweet I did on our account about Kurt, about doing a revival of the OC,
California.
so we could have.
Oh yeah.
So we could have Kurt be on the soundtrack.
But unlike previous episodes, we've mentioned it because it's a good show, a great soundtrack.
I've been like trying to watch it.
It put quote unquote emo on the map.
At the very least,
this soundtrack is great though, and it's got like
it could have been
bands.
It could have been better.
Like at the very least, it put Death Cab for Cutie on the map.
Had Death Cab for Cutie, like
I feel like Saves the Day was on it, but like doing acoustic stuff.
No, Saves the Day was not on there.
Dashboard was.
Dashboard was.
Lots of like Block Party was on there.
Party.
I didn't know Block Party was on.
Rooney was there. The Shins. It was more indie than emo, to be honest.
I keep trying to watch that show. Yeah, it is more indie than emo, but it was kind of like that middle ground area that existed for a while.
More traditional, like dashboard emo. You know what I mean? Like those guys with like fancy haircuts, not bangs.
I've been trying to watch that show, and my girlfriend doesn't want to watch it with me.
Dang, that's like a chick show too.
Yeah.
I love it though. Like to be honest, like it's a really good show. Except for the last season. The last season's trash.
You can say that about every show. It seems like okay, maybe not every show, but
I said the rest of the show was great. The last season was trash.
No, I said the last season. Every show's last season is like not great. It seems like.
Except Breaking Bad.
Except The Simpsons.
Simpsons, yeah. We'll see what the last season of The Simpsons brings.
Dude, I haven't watched The Simpsons since I don't know. Maybe
it's like there was a period of time where it wasn't that great, like in my opinion. But like I've watched recent episodes, they're actually not that bad, like considering.
But yeah, I don't know if do I watch any cartoons? I mean, like the last anime I really got into was like Tokyo Ghoul, and like I don't know, Death Note, but those are kind of old.
Honestly, I feel like I pretty much only watch cartoons or British reality TV at this point.
I resonate with that.
What?
So I guess that's about it, though, right? We just plug the socials and.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
That's the show, fellas. My name is Cash Spicer. I don't think I said that earlier in the show, so I should probably say that now, in case y'all were confused. You can reach me on at Cash Spicer on Twitter. Maybe I'll get an Instagram soon if I get a new phone. Maybe I'll get a new phone and not get a new Instagram. Or not get an Instagram. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a poll and see if y'all will make an Instagram, but I'm sure y'all don't really care. You can reach us, the Demo Team Podcast, at Demo Team Podcast, like most social medias. Go ahead and ask us some questions. We'd love some fan interaction. Send it to David.
Well, hey, so you can find me, David Pottinger, on Facebook. Pottinger.David on Instagram. And shoot, that's where you can usually find me. Shoot, yeah. Hit me up, chat. Hit me up with questions. I like to talk, so. But shoot, what about you, Ryan?
You can catch me on Instagram. You can find me at Ryan // Find me on Twitter at Ryan /1, the number one, not the word. You can find my band on Twitter and at Stay Still CA as in California. Or you can find us on Instagram at Stay Still Official. Or you can find us on Facebook, Stay Still Music. That's about it, though. You could just find me. Just find me, please.
Let's find Ryan. We're playing the game Find Ryan.
It's like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yep.
Nah.
Rialto, California.
Probably.
I remember. And Moses.
Oh yeah, don't find me. But if you want to, I'm through being Mo on Instagram. Try to find me on MySpace. I'd like to see you try. Yeah, but also you can hit up the Demo Team podcast on all our socials. If you hit us up on IG, it'll most likely be me. So say what's up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I wanted to shout out Scene Facts for shouting us out on Twitter earlier this week.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, that was dope. Apparently
You guys
we are scene creators. So
Nice.
or
Content
like
creators.
content creators, but like in the scene or whatever.
Scene.
So
Hey,
yeah.
It's a good scene to be in.
hey, yeah, I mean,
It is a
But
roaring sneeze.
But
So-
I think the most important question and thing we discussed today on the podcast was whose side are you on, Prince or Rick James? Because that's the real message here.
well, musically Prince, but I'd probably rather hang out with Rick James.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair assessment. I think we'll let the audience decide whose side they're on. But you know who Cash is on, so you know to watch your back.
Purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
The end. That's beautiful. All right, I think that's good.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Cash. Thank you, guys, everybody.
Oh,
Good hustle.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't know when we're going to talk about Dance Kevin Dance again.
Ever. Next week we have we're going to be recording and doing an episode with the Seafloor Cinema, so you should definitely tune in for that
We're going to be on the seafloor.
with the cinema.
Yeah, we're going to be
Bikini.
underwater.
We should
It's gonna
totally
be-
let them. We should totally let them make memes for us for like a week just to see
We're going to
what they-
record this at the aquarium.
with the Seafloor
Yeah.
and
I
the
want
cinema.
to to Anthony about his hair.
His hair is epic.
keeping the scene alive.
Dude, do it.
The headband.
Oh, yeah.
the-
I'm
the
supposed to
headband's
ask
keeping
him
it.
about the Jonas Brothers.
Yes. Also, be sure to ask them about Twisted Sister and how that relates to their band.
Okay.
No, I really want to know now.
Yes, 100%.
Drew
It's a-
from Never Shout Never is missing, but his hair can be found on Anthony's head.
Yes. Go find Anthony on Fire on Facebook and ask him about his hair.
Yeah. Beautiful hair. I'm jealous.
Beautiful.
I ship Moses and Anthony.
Also,